rivalry with bad blood dating back to 1969. The 50th battle for the Fremont Cannon, the heaviest and most expensive trophy in all of college football. It's the final game of the regular season between the UNLV Rebels and the Nevada Wolfpack. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Wyatt Touchet. Alongside me is Johnnie Graves. First, let's see how we got here from the beginning of the season till now, starting with the Rebels. UNLV started off red hot this season at 6-0 for the first time since 1974. The Rebels were handed back-to-back losses by Boise State and New Mexico, seemingly closing their chances to contest for a title. Tonight, the Rebels are on a 3-game win streak and hold the fate of their conference championship hopes in their hands. With a win tonight, the Fremont Cannon comes back home to his rightful owner for the 4th consecutive year and place their bid in a 4-way tie for first place in the Mountain West. Standing in their way, though, are the rivals up north. Nevada started off the season 1-1 with a loss first to the number 2 team in the nation, Penn State, 46-11, and then a win over Sac State, 20-17. From there, it went downhill, and downhill quickly. The Wolfpack proceeded to lose 7 straight games, but heading into tonight's game, they're on a 2-game win streak, dropping 55 points on San Jose State to win by 45, and most recently a win on the road in Laramie, Wyoming, 13-7. And it doesn't matter how you start, but how you finish. And Nevada can play spoiler tonight with a win as underdogs to take back the Fremont Cannon while simultaneously ripping all hopes for interstate rivals UNLV to have a chance to make the Mountain West title game. Johnny, the stakes are high and both teams are all in.
And for fans out there, UNLV and UNR coming into this game, Wyatt, you could not have placed and set the scene more perfectly for how important this game is for both of these programs. For UNLV and for UNR, both of these programs are on the opposite side of the spectrum when you're looking at what we're going to see today in the Mountain West and what they are playing for. But if you're UNLV, you're coming into this game not only trying to get that cannon back for the 4th consecutive year, but you're also trying to continue to leave your mark on what you've been able to do so far this season and have an exclamation point heading into potentially the Mountain West Championship and your bowl game that you have locked up and guaranteed. On the other side, if you are UNR, you are playing not only for the sake of trying to get that Fremont Cannon back and keep it out of UNLV's hands, but you're also playing for the pride of your program. Coming into the season so far right now today, they are 3-9 on the season, and they are looking to try to take this one away from UNLV. What better opportunity for them to do it at home with those seniors ready to go in their last football game? They were going to be in for a big, hard matchup today between both of these teams.
And there's a lot of buzz and hype around UNLV and the Scarlet and Gray going into this game, especially with the Mountain West title contention, the 4-way tie, and also it's the rivalry game, the interstate Silver State rivalry between the Wolfpack. But head coach Dan Mullen spoke earlier this week on Monday at the press conference saying, we just got to win. We cannot worry about anything else. We have to control what we can control, and that's what they're looking to do here tonight.
And that's exactly what you're looking for your leader of the program to say, no matter the territory, no matter what kind of game scenario they are looking at. UNLV's theme coming into this whole season had to have been with Dan Mullen is to win football games. They've been able to do that. Like you said earlier in the broadcast, starting the season off 6-0 to be at the point that they are at now with a chance to go into that Mountain West Championship. Dan Mullen knows that, yes, there's the glitz and glamour of the rivalries and all the different emotions that are going to come into this game. But he knows the caliber of team that he has and what they have shown and proven time and time again so far this season. He wants them to play at their level, at their expectations, not at the expectations of a UNR program that has been struggling mightily, but has been on the up and up these last 2 weeks, Wyatt.
And these offenses could not look any different, Johnny. You take a look at UNLV led by their star quarterback, Anthony Calandria, who's fresh off his 4th Mountain West offensive player of the week. And that's the first time in a season that a Rebel has won 4 Mountain West honors since Randall Cunningham. And when you take a look at a guy like that caliber, Randall Cunningham, and you make those similarities and those comparisons to Anthony Calandria, a lot of people ask the question to Coach every single week, like, what do you love about this guy? And just on that feet, he has said in his ability to use his talent to play quarterback at a high level, he is a guy throughout the season, make the human highlight plays, but also check it down And this is where the comparison with true freshman Carter Jones for the Nevada Wolfpack comes into play. It's his maturity that has allowed him to do that. High praise from Coach Mullen on Calandria.
And as a quarterback, if you're playing at a high level against Division I athletes, it takes time for you to understand that although you may be uber talented, you still have to learn how to play quarterback. That was part of the reason Anthony Calandria came to this program. In his previous press conference for UNLV in their last win, he spoke about with Dan Mullen and coming to this program, him and Corey Dennis have been able to nurture him and mold him into the quarterback that we're seeing today. A guy that is not only able to make the off-platform bootleg throws and create out of the pocket when he needs to, be the quote-unquote magician like Marcel McDuffie had mentioned as well in that same press conference, but he's been able to learn how to play quarterback, find his checkdowns, keep that team rolling, keep the sticks moving, which has led to UNLV having that high record. And on the flip side, if you're looking at the freshman quarterback in Carter Jones and what he's been able to do so far in the season, 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, it speaks to the lack of maturity so far for that quarterback. And there's a lot of things that Carter Jones, tools-wise, the dude is 6'3", 215 pounds. 15 pounds. He has the intangibles, if you would say, of what you want to see in a quarterback. Now it's about slowing the game down and being able to have this performance against a high-touted program like UNLV going into his next year where he is more than likely going to be the starter for this program. It starts here being able to play a brand of football similar to Anthony Calandria, and if he does that, he's going to be very successful against the Rebels today.
And let's take a look at Nevada real quick. You know, they come into this game 3-8 off 2 games that they've won that have been huge for a blueprint of what they're going to try to emulate for this game. Nevada head coach Jeff Choate had said he sees this rivalry as a clash of cultures. UNLV with the Mercedes cars and Lamborghinis and everything of that nature, and Nevada the blue collar, the Ford F-150s, and as he said, the beaters on the front driveway. You know, clearly Coach Choate does not want what he calls showing up to a gunfight with a knife.
And for Coach Choate, he's trying to rally his troops. He's trying to be the leader for that team. So he's going to say whatever is necessary to get these guys to understand that they are playing not only for themselves, but they're also playing for the letters on their jersey. They're playing for the University of Nevada, Reno, and there's something to be said about coming into rivalry games and trying to have the same level of effort. He was trying to instill that in this team and see if he could rally his troops in a gunfight today.
And the rivalry begins now at Mackey Stadium, here live from Las Vegas. We have had some technical difficulties leading up to this game. Our resources, unlike the natural networks that we see at the high level, trying to emulate that to the best of our abilities. We now have the feed. The Rebels have the ball first, so Nevada will be getting the ball in the second half. The Wolfpack 19, and it is second down inside the red zone.
And right here for the Rebels, they've been able to get downfield while we were going through the intro of our game. But we need to see them come out and start out hot against this Nevada Reno defense.
Calandria in shotgun formation, handoff. That's Thomas to the left side, breaks the tackle, has a lane, and he's in. Touchdown Rebels! 17-yard run, and the Rebels strike first.
And the Rebels strike first is exactly what Dan Mullen, Corey Dennis, and this offense need to have today. You have Jet Thomas, the lead future back, coming back for his second straight game after missing one game with that hamstring injury. But to have him in that backfield, using that contact balance, bouncing off defenders and getting in the end zone, it's what we've seen all season long for this UNLV offense, and that is just going to be one of the key stars that we're going to see in an offense that is riddled with high-level talent, that head coach Jeff Choate knows is going to be very vital and very lethal in the game today.
Jet Thomas, one of the best running backs in the Mountain West, punching it in for 6, and the Rebels lead by 7 with 11:20 here on Rebel Sports Net. 7 plays, 75 yards, and just 3 minutes and 40 seconds of time of possession for the Rebels. They strike first and lead 7-0 with 11:20 here in the first quarter, Johnny.
And I love what I've seen from the Rebels from the get-go to start this game. Utilizing, if you know what your strengths are as an offense, you're going to go back to it every single time until the defense stops it. Jet Thomas on that drive being able to have 3 carries for 36 yards and then the long 17-yard run, bouncing off of contact, making defenders miss and running into the end zone for the Rebels. That is the type of statement that you want to come into this game. You mentioned with head coach Jeff Coat, he tried to attack these guys' character. He tried to go out and indirectly, whether he was rallying his troops or not, he is trying to make it known that basically UNLV are the softies. UNLV being able to come out into this game and impose their will at the line of scrimmage and run the football for a team that has been so prevalent throwing the ball with the weapons they have on the outside. I love the mentality from Dan Mullen and Corey Dennis to start the drive or start their first offensive drive that way and to end up in the end zone with 6.
So for the Wolfpack, leading the way is the true freshman, Carter Jones from Lancaster, Texas. Has not thrown for over 1,000 yards yet this season. Only 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Not the dynamic you want to see from this offense, but in order for them to win, Coach Cho had mentioned that they cannot turn the ball over. They have to play well on all levels, and they cannot give up the big plays. Here on first down, handoff up the middle, and a gain of 4 there for the Wolfpack.
And that's exactly what you have to do if you're trying to settle down a young freshman quarterback and allow him to find the rhythm in the game. The best friend for a quarterback of his caliber and coming into this game as a true freshman is going to have to be running the ball between the tackles and understanding that offensive coordinator David Gilbertson is going to have to set his quarterback up for success and not put him in situations where he's going to have to force the ball in the harm's way. This UNLV defense is very stingy. They have over 13 picks on the year so far. They're going to be looking to get after the quarterback and forcing him into some tough throws.
And so Rams are in the backfield after gain of 5. 2nd and 5 here at their own 30. Thrown outside and completed to Thomas.
And I love that quick read on the outside by Jones, being able to recognize that UNLV on the outside with Andrew Powdrill were playing off-man coverage. So what does he do? He takes one step, finds his receiver, hits the ball right on his numbers, and is able to pick up 4 yards on the play and set up a manageable 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. But it allows your offense and your offensive coordinator to have so many more options in terms of what you can do rather than being in 3rd and 5+ situations.
So this season, the Wolfpack started the Marion Motley Initiative. Nevada football will honor the legacy of former Wolfpack star and Pro Football Hall of Famer Marion Motley, for he was one of the first 2 African Americans to play in pro football in the modern era, breaking the color barrier. Each game this season, one player has worn his number 41 as a tribute to his trailblazing legacy, and tonight the honor goes to number 20, Caleb Ramser, who is now wearing 41 tonight.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to pay back to those who paved the way for you. And for them to be able to do that and have them, we've seen a similar thing with in baseball with Jackie Robinson Day and being able to pay it forward for the guys that, put their lives on the line genuinely back in the day trying to play football and trying to, change the stigma, change the stereotypes for the way the world was. So beautiful sighting right there for UNR. But on that last play, they were able to pick up a free first down on the penalty on Andrew Powdrill, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do. Right now they have Chuba Purdy in at quarterback.
So now 1st and 10, 5 seconds on the play clock, ball at their own 38. Pre-snap motion, Purdy's going to use it and keep it to the right side, only picking up maybe 2 yards, brought down at their own 40.
And David Gilbertson in this offense, the offensive coordinator for UNR, is going to make sure that the QB run game is a vital option for this offense. Chuba Purdy, the 6-year senior for this team, he is known for using his legs. He is a dual threat, but if they have him in the offense, he's going to play that Taysom Hill Swiss Army knife role, where if you give him the ball, he's a big body, and he's meant to pick up as many yards as he can and also take care of the football.
Last week against Wyoming, 12 carries, 66 yards. He has over 450 yards on the season using his legs, and the carry by Ramser up the middle does not get much there, maybe a yard or 2, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long.
Beautiful inside pressure by Jalen Lee, and blessing in the backfield once again to be able to plug up that B gap for UNLV in this defense. And UNLV, they're at their best when they get stops on 1st and 2nd down.
So ball spot at the 41, 3rd and 7 for the Wolfpack here. Some pre-snap movement. Some players jump off sides. We're going to have to see a penalty flags being thrown, and some players are face-to-face. We're going to have to wait the call here. Johnny, what did you see?
It looks like it might be false start on Nevada for this play. It could potentially be offsides, but coming into a game like this, especially on the defensive end, guys are going to be ramped up. It looks like it is going to be offsides on UNLV side on this play.
And so UNLV, the most penalized team in the Mountain West, giving up over 65 yards per game. And another penalty here to Touchet Atalaya and Chief Borders. Borders will be taken out of the game here. It's now 3rd and 2. A lot better situation for the Wolfpack, who this season on the offensive side on 3rd down have converted only 32.6%, the second worst in the Mountain West.
And setting up right there, that's why penalties are so important to be able to set your offense up for good situations.
3 seconds on the play clock, 3rd and 2. Jones dropping back across the middle. Incomplete pass broken up by Jake Pope. And it's going to bring on 4th down for the Wolfpack.
Seat belt coverage in the back end for this UNLV defensive back room with both Amaris Brown, the star in the slot in that nickel back position, and Jake Pope. But Jake Pope simply just reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's able to sit in his back pedal, understand where Jones wanted to put the football, and laid the absolute wood and force the wide receiver to drop the ball.
Now on 4th down, 4th and 2 at their own 46. The offense stayed out for just a little bit, but they're going to bring on out Bailey Ettridge, and he's going to punt this one back to Irvin, who is hit immediately as he caught the ball. But no, he faked it, and the ball's going to be spotted at the 2, so he gets hit hard, and it's inside the 5. He has to pay for that one. Ettridge doing his little walk to the side.
UNLV swag dance.
McGregor swag dance. UNLV leads 7-0 here with 8 minutes to go in the first.
But it looks like there is a flag on the field here for the Rebels.
Penalty flag is going to go against the offense, and Nevada will decline. So the punting unit will come out for the first time today. Cam Brown, the freshman from Coolangatta, Australia. He was signed mid-year and enrolled in January. He only had one punt against Hawaii. That's how well this offense played last week against the Rainbow Warriors.
And right there, it speaks to how high potent and how successful this UNLV offense has been able to be in the last 3 games. They have completely turned the ship around, and it starts with them starting fast. We see them so far be able to start the game with 7 points on the board. Unfortunately, because of the bad field position, they had to punt this ball away.
And Brown, with his heels on the back of the end zone, able to get it into Nevada territory near the 46. And that's where the Wolfpack will begin their drive. Here on the other side, 6:22 remains. The Rebels lead 7-0 here in the Silver State rivalry. Welcome back here inside the broadcast booth. Wyatt Touchet and Johnnie Graves. The beautiful Fremont Cannon painted in scarlet red as we take a look at right now. This is the 51st overall meeting, and Nevada leads that all-time series 28-22. Their previous drive only 11 yards, and they sit dead last in the Mountain West coming into this game in yards per game and also first downs. One of their first downs last drive came by way of penalty from UNLV. And they start off here at their own 46, 1st and 10, 6:22 remains. The Rebels lead by 7. Jones, roll out right, fires, near sideline, caught, and steps out of bounds inside UNLV territory at the 46. That's going to be Nevada's Jet Carpenter.
And UNR are taking a little bit of bits and pieces of Corey Dennis's offense with Anthony Calanger with the bootleg game, being able to hit Jet Carpenter on the outside from the tight end position. He's been able to be a key contributor to this offense. Although they haven't been the best statistically, he has had a good season, over 30 catches and 300 yards on the year. They're going to need him to be successful against this UNLV defense today.
He does lead the Wolfpack in yards and receptions. It's 2nd and 2 now after that catch of 8. Woods, the sweep, breaking some tackles, fighting for more yards, picks up the first down, and is officially brought down at the UNLV 42.
Wyatt, I know you just covered a lot of basketball games, and we have Marcel McDuffie in the backfield. He makes a $1 million move to evade the block and get in the backfield and try to get the running back down, but makes a 10-cent finish. And at the linebacker position, your name of the game is being able to make hard tackles, make secure tackles. He is unable to do that. UNR picks up the first down.
And so now it'll be 1st and 10 inside UNLV territory for the first time today at the 42. Handoff to the right side, trying to get some angles here. Ramser tripped up by his own man, falls down near the 31, 32-yard line, and that's enough for a first down.
And all of this starts from the upfront ability of this UNR O-line to move itself and enforce its will against UNLV and allow Ramser to run right behind it. He's able to pick up the 10-yard gain for UNR. But we've seen this is the first time today they've been able to have some life on offense. They go back to Chuba Purdy and the backfield for UNR right now.
Chuba Purdy, the 6-year player, transferred from Nebraska last year. His brother is San Francisco Niners quarterback Brock Purdy. Now sets up 1st and 10 pistol formation. Purdy, the keeper, to the left side. He's going to run, tries to get the edge and angle, and brought down near the 27 for a gain of about 5.
And Chuba Purdy, he has a role in this offense. They're going to want to use him and allow him to get his hands on the ball in any way, knowing that he is a good athlete. He's definitely a better athlete than his brother in terms of being able to run outside of the pocket and extend plays with his legs. I would like to see Gilbertson continue to use him as a wrinkle in this offense, like I said earlier, as a Taysom Hill, where you allow him to have multiple different roles and keeps this UNLV defense guessing, and especially Paul Gunther guessing when he has to figure out what he's going to do on the field play by play.
So 2nd and 6 here. Jones steps back, empty formation, firing into the end zone. Overthrows his receiver intended for Thomas. No way that was going to be completed there. So now sets up 3rd down for the Wolfpack.
And that was just beautiful coverage on the back end. You have Mumu Bin Wahad in coverage, being able to play beautifully in the hip pocket of the wide receiver. And because he was in phase, he did not allow the referee to call a flag on that play.
So 3rd and 6, 3:22 remains. Nevada inside UNLV territory, and another penalty flag on this UNLV defense. And this time it's going to go against Tunmise Audalea.
And plays like that, they are backbreakers, especially for a defense that wants to force UNR and Curtis Jones to be uncomfortable and put him into pass down situations. When you have offsides penalties like that, it allows that offense to, again, open up your playbook. And now, if you're UNR, knowing that you are desperate for points, you are playing with a 2-down situation. You know you're going to have to keep pace with this UNLV Rebel offense. You allow them to get into a better scenario with 3rd and 1.
So now from 3rd and 6, it's 3rd and 1. Adelea gets a talking to on the sideline. Now he comes back in. The Rebels with a 7-0 lead here with 3:22 remaining in the Silver State rivalry on the road at Mackey Stadium up in Reno, Nevada. UNLV 4 penalties, 17 yards. This Nevada offensive line gets to the line of scrimmage quickly, and another penalty. Paldrell tries to run and guess the snap count, and it's another penalty on this defense, the 5th one in just the first quarter.
And this is undisciplined football from the Paul Gunther-led defense. So far today, we have seen multiple penalties on this UNLV defense bailing out this team. And it's not going to be something that Dan Mullen is going to like, knowing that they're playing to the hand of UNR. They are playing in front of their home fans in their home stadium, and it's also senior night for those players. You do not want to give them any extra juice and allow yourself to bail them out and put them in a position to where they're playing with momentum.
And this is what Coach Mullen was talking about. Control what you can control. That's something you can control, and you just gave them a first down. Jones pitches it outside to the right. Moore trying to find some room, but unable to. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's Woods on the carry. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
And that's the second time we've seen Kai Woods down be able to evade the first defender when trying to bring him down. But the UNLV defense was able to funnel multiple defenders to the football, get hats to the ball, and bring him down to the ground, setting up a 2nd and 9. And that's what they need to do. If this UNLV defense consistently gets stops on 1st and 2nd down, they are going to force UNR's hand and potentially allow these DBs to get their hands on the football and be more advantageous in the back end.
And in the red zone this season, Nevada has only scored 13 touchdowns and 33 red zone opportunities. That's the third worst in FBS. Tackled from behind and sacked on the play. Jones brought down by Jaheim Joseph and company, and that sets up a huge third and long for the Nevada offense.
And Paul Gunther, I love when he puts in and installs blitz packages. This UNLV team wants to get after the quarterback. And when you have Jaheim Joseph, the speedy, strong safety, come down against number 76, Kochmeyer, from that left tackle position, he is not going to be able to move his feet quickly enough to get to the outside. Jaheim Joseph is able to get the scrambling Jones on the ground, setting up a 3rd and 18 for the Rebels.
So now less than 2 minutes to go. UNLV leads by 7, backed up 3rd and 18 at the UNLV 27. The handoff to Ramser to the left side. Only a handful of yards brought down near the 23. And now set up 4th down and bring on the kicking unit.
And David Gilbertson, again, understanding that with a true freshman quarterback in Jones, you don't want to put him in a scenario where he's forcing the ball too much. You go simply to that halfback draw, and you allow yourself to potentially get 3 points on the board here if you are UNR, knowing that points are, again, going to be a premium in this game. But you have to love the adjustment from the UNLV defense to be able to react to those penalties, make up for them, and set up, and not only a touchdown, but 3 points here potentially for UNR.
Joe McFadden, the 4th most accurate kicker in the Mountain West. He gets this kick up and through the uprights with 1:05 to go. So Nevada comes out with something, and they only trail 7-3 with just 1:05 remaining here on Rebel Sports Net. Nine plays, 36 yards in just over 5 minutes and 17 seconds of possession here on senior night for the Nevada Wolfpack, honoring a lot of guys who Coach Cho has said are going to be bridge builders for the future to set up this program for the better and be able to, what he says, catch up to the Power 5-like offenses like UNLV. They're able to get a 40-yard field goal by the leg of Joe McFadden, and they cut the lead now 7-3 with just 1:05 here in the first quarter, Johnny.
And with UNR at this point in their season, Wyatt, they understand they are not going to be bowl eligible. They're not playing a bowl game. But when it comes to trying to set the culture and the foundation for what you want to be as a program, Jeff Choate knows that he's going to need these seniors to come out and put on a show. And what better way and scene for you to be able to do that against a UNLV team that is vying to try to get in the Mountain West Championship? If you're able to play spoil earlier, not only are you able to inspire the rest of the roster and guys that are going to continue on with this UNR program, but you're also able to instill for any recruits that may be at the game considering coming to UNR that you can be a part of the program that turns things around with Jeff Choate and has the next generation of UNR and the Wolfpack intact.
And so with that being said, UNLV with the kickoff, touching back, they'll start at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun formation, Calandria pitches it out. A quick run there for a gain of about 3 to the 28-yard line is Glover.
And it looks like on that last play, you had Jalen Glover. They have shown that he has a specific package in this offense designed for him where he is the one that takes the direct snap from the center. That was another example of that. We've seen this UNLV offense is not afraid to show all the weapons that they have. He's able to get a 3-yard carry on the first touch on this drive.
So now 2nd and 7, 30 seconds remain here in the first quarter. Likely to be one more snap. JoJo Earl in motion to the left side, handoff Glover up the middle, has a lane inside Nevada territory and brought down right at the midway mark. Huge pickup there for UNLV, and that is likely going to take us to the end of the first.
And Jalen Glover going insane in the membrane, being able to move the sticks for the UNLV Rebels and keep the chains moving for this team. And you love the explosiveness. He has shown he deserves a role in this offense, and that's exactly why he's out there on the field today.
Jalen Glover with a 21-yard carry to take us to the end of the first quarter. 1 down, 3 to go. UNLV leads 7-3 here at Mackey Stadium. Welcome back to the second quarter here. It is beginning at Mackey Stadium. Not only is the Fremont Cannon on the line in this Silver State rivalry, but the road to the Mountain West title game. UNLV has an opportunity with a win today to be able to get in there for a 4-way tie for first place in the Mountain West. So with no head-to-head tiebreakers possible, the conference's best next step is to rank the 4 teams based on a composite of 4 computer rankings: Connolly S&P Plus, ESPN SOR, KPI, and Sports Source. So the 2 teams with the highest marks make the title game this upcoming Friday on December 5th. With that knowledge, we have a lot heading into this week. Here's the averages ranking from the 4 computer rankings if it were to have ended before this week. UNLV at the top of the average ranking of 40, and San Diego State with 43.3. The other 2 teams, Boise State and New Mexico, would just fall right outside of it at 3 and 4. And a lot of other rankings have come out as well, and expectations for these results. But at the end of the day, it will be announced tomorrow morning, Sunday, at 8 a.m. So all this to say, no one truly knows, and the Rebels just need to take care of business tonight to be in that conversation. And to go back 2 years ago in 2023, Johnny, UNLV, Boise State, and San Jose State had a 3-way tie for first place, and the computers left the Spartans out, with the Rebels hosting as the number 1 seed at Allegiant Stadium for the Mountain West Championship game. UNLV and Boise did not play head-to-head in 2023, so the Rebels got the nod to host that game by way of the computer rankings. So we could very well see something very similar for the Rebels here tonight.
And that's exactly the reason why Dan Mullen and his team understand that this is just another game. You have to be able to compartmentalize and understand that you hold your fate into how you want to finish off the season. You don't want to leave it in the hands of guys that are going to be going out and doing the rankings. Obviously, head-to-head matchups, UNLV lost against New Mexico, which is a team that just won against San Diego State, which is going to shake up a lot of the things when you're looking at for both of these teams to make their bid and go, and who is going to be able to play in the Mountain West Championship. But you have to take care of business first, and it starts with not only getting that Fremont Cannon back, but you have to beat this tough UNR team that is ready to go. They're going to play hard hats to the football, and they're playing for a little bit more than just themselves today. They're playing for the pride in Nevada. They understand that they want to play spoiler, and if UNLV wants to make it back to the championship in their first year at the helm with Dan Mullen, they're going to have to win and in a gunfight.
And with that being said, you take a look at the top of the Mountain West. There are 3 teams tied currently. New Mexico beat San Diego State, so they are tied neck and neck. And Boise State beat Utah State 25-24. So all the results awaiting here on this game. Start of the second quarter, 15 minutes ago in the half. UNLV 7-3 at their own 49. Handoff, Glover falls down in the backfield and brought down for a loss of about 3.
And Jalen Glover on that play, he ran directly in and to his own offensive lineman, another number 60 McGowan, and it's because of the pressure up the middle, being able to, by number 43 for UNR, Nelson Ropati, being able to do a great job from that defensive tackle position to go forward, not horizontal, but forward into the teeth of this UNLV offensive line.
The senior transfer from City College of San Francisco. And now on 2nd and 13, Calandria dropping back, fires deep, far sideline, caught by JoJo Earl inside the 20, and this UNLV offense is moving.
And that is beautiful play calling and design by Corey Dennis on that play. You have Anthony Calandria rolling out with his head down, looking like he's going to take the QB sweep to the outside. Nope, I'm going to throw it across my body, across the field to JoJo Earl for the big-time completion.
Play action, Calandria across the middle, caught. Omire diving for the end zone. He's wrapped up at the 1. What's the result? Touchdown, Rebels!
Troy Omire with the double sleeves, looking like Russell Westbrook out there, the number 0, and the big body 6'4" wide receiver for the Rebels is able to go over a man, extend out using that big wingspan, and get in the end zone. And his favorite route all season long has been those deep overs and deep crossers, and him and Anthony Calandria once again being able to electrify this UNLV offense and get them on the board for 6.
A 17-yard catch and run for Troy Omire. As we take a look at the replay, Omire was tackled, and he rolled up on the defender that tackled him near the 1-yard line. The referees on the field said it was good. He got the ball across the plane, but it is currently under review.
And right here, just a spectacular ability to be able to not only follow up the deep shot from JoJo Earl, but to have the wherewithal and Anthony Calandria to put the ball right on the money, throwing on the run, and hit Troy Omire right on the numbers and allow him to make a play. You'd love to see the execution from Corey Dennis in this offense and what Anthony Calandria has been able to do all season long, and not have too high of a high and too low of a low. You want to see these guys continue to stay consistent. They've been able to do that, and it goes to show not only how good they've been doing on the practice field in terms of knowing where each other are going to be at all times, but also taking the time to execute when it matters most on this team.
And they're showing multiple angles of the replay. We've yet to see the pylon cam, Johnny. I mean, the tackle made by Bryson Snelling looks compelling enough to say that Omire is in, but you'd like to see the down-the-line angle, and they're still looking and overviewing it right now.
And it looks like they just want to make sure this one is good to go. Obviously, you had a very bang-bang play, and it's very, very close. But on our end, Wyatt, I did see Troy Omire using his arms to extend the football out, and it just has to break the plane for it to be a touchdown.
And the call is upheld, so a 17-yard strike once again, this time through the air, the first time by the legs of Jet Thomas. This one, Calandria to Omire, and the score is 13-3. That's Omire's 4th touchdown of the season.
And right here, just complimentary football by the Rebels, being able to understand that you could run the ball with Jalen Glover, who started it off so good for this Rebel offense to get them in scoring position. But because of the arm and the magic by Anthony Calandria in the backfield to throw the ball downfield to JoJo Earl and the rest of this wide receiver core, you're seeing once again why this highly touted offense is vying for a spot in that Mountain West Championship.
And it started with JoJo Earl's catch on the far sideline. 17-yard strike to Troy Omire. UNLV starting to pull away here in the second quarter. 14-3. Rebels lead here on Rebel Sports Net. UNLV with a commanding 14-3 lead. Just 13:55 remains in the first half. 5 plays, 75 yards in just 2 minutes and 10 seconds of possession. Comes by way of a 17-yard touchdown pass to Troy O'Meale from Anthony Calandria. And they're fighting for the Fremont Cannon at the end of the day. And for those of you at home that don't know what the Fremont Cannon is, it was an idea featuring all the way back to UNLV's head coach Bill Ireland. He came up with it in 1969 to have a trophy as a symbol of the rivalry between the two schools. The project wasn't finished until 1970. This is the 51st all-time meeting. It was ready on the year of 1970, and so this trophy was built, and it's a replica of a 19th century howitzer cannon that accompanied American explorer and politician John C. Fremont on an expedition to the American West and Nevada, and that was donated by the Quantico Utah Copper, a mining, smelting, and refining company. So when you take a look at the history, this is very much rooted in not only the very soil of the state, but this country as well.
And if you're thinking about the history for both of these teams, UNLV and UNR, they're going to play that little brother, big brother mentality when you're looking at both of these teams. But on that last drive, what we seen for the UNLV Rebel offense, we saw them be explosive like a cannon, being able to push the ball downfield and allow the guy, JoJo Earl, who is a guy that is a human joystick, if he is electric and lightning in a bottle, if you are able to get him out in space and push the ball downfield with him, good things are going to be able to happen. They were able to do that, and it allowed for this Rebel offense that has been so high-powered. There's a reason. It may be that Fremont Cannon that be giving them a little bit of a boost as to how explosive we've seen these offense be so far this year, and they're going to have to keep it up against UNR, but UNR is going to want to have a little bit of that Fremont success as well, coming out trying to match UNLV, hopefully with 6 points on the board for them.
And you talk the explosiveness of the cannon. It has not been shot since 1999. It used to be possessed by the whoever had won previously, as the run from Ramser on the outside picks up the first down a little bit more past the 40 for a first down. But you take a look at the cannon, at the time, back in the day, whoever held the trophy was able to fire it off after every single touchdown. That is no longer the case since 1999. But it is also the heaviest and most expensive trophy in all of college football, 545 pounds worth and over $10,000 to build and maintain since the birth of its creation. And it's the first game between the teams. The first game between the teams was in 1969. Following that year, obviously, that cannon was built in 1970. So a lot of history there, a lot of excitement around this game. And UNR, Nevada, is going to try to get back on the right side of history here today. Ramser, another first down run inside UNLV territory, brought down on the right side, a right hash at the UNLV 42.
And with that honorary 41 today, Ramser has done a great job on these last two runs of getting to the second level and having elite bursts to make defenders miss and keep his legs churning. I love what I'm seeing from Ramser so far, and it starts with your offensive line being able to open up gaps for your running back, and all he has to do is have the vision to run through them and run through them with explosion. Love it so far if you're UNR and head coach Jeff Choate.
6 carries so far through this game, 53 yards in the ground in just the first half. Jones hands off again to Ramser up the middle, and this time a gain of 4 brought down at the 39 inside UNLV territory.
That was a better effort on the inside by Osa Bakse, being able to understand that at that defensive tackle or defensive end position, your job is not only to run after the quarterback, you still have to play a good job in the run fit. If you're able to do that, it not only allows Paul Gunther and his defense to have multiple different wrinkles to what they can do on the defensive line, but it keeps you on the field. Guys want to play. If you're able to run fit and do a great job as an edge defender, that's what you will love to see if you're a defensive coordinator.
Less than 12 minutes to go here in the first half. UNLV leads 14-3. Nevada on the move at the UNLV 39. Fires far sideline, incomplete pass. In coverage was Mumu Bin Wahad, intended for Bellon.
And right there, that's just Jones not able to put the ball on the money. You had Bellon wide open on the corner route, and it was a great effort trying to extend with one hand to make the play. The ball, unfortunately, just came out a little bit too quick, and you have to think that for Carter Jones, he understands that for this offense to be successful, he has to be accurate.
And so on 3rd and 6, the blitz off the outside, Mumu Bin Wahad jumps early And this feels like the umpteenth offsides from this UNLV defense here today.
And Mumo Ben Wahad is a veteran player, and he knows better in that situation. That is the second time now today we've seen a UNLV defensive back, the first time being Andrew Powdrell, making a play that is going to shoot yourself in the foot and let this UNR team off the hook. You were going to be in a 3rd and 6 situation knowing that it was a passing down. And regardless, if you're coming from that nickel back position, you should be watching the football and not watching the O-lineman or the quarterback. You need to watch the football and then take your jump. Because of that, UNLV 6 penalties on the day, and they're bailing out this UNR offense that is struggling and needs to have points in this game.
When you take a look at the last few games, they've been holding teams 10 points, 26 points, 10 points, and here on 3rd and 1, loose ball, it's on the ground, UNLV recovers, Border jumps on it. A fumble there from the Nevada offense and a huge spark of life for this defense. We were just about to highlight how well they've been playing in terms of holding the opposing team to be able to low scores, and they've been shooting themselves in the foot, and they are able to capitalize on a big turnover here.
Did I see Bobby Boucher out there on the field? No, that was Blessing in the backfield once again. Blessing Tui Olemoto being able to come in the backfield and have a big-time hit on Ramser, who has been such a strong runner today. And Chief Borders with the wherewithal and the awareness to get down on the football and recover that for the UNLV Rebels. Again, answering back after a hard-headed penalty by Mumu bin Wahad.
UNLV's offense is taking over with a 14-3 lead here in the second quarter. Fresh off the turnover, punched out by Blessing Alualu Tui Olemodu and recovered by Chief Borders. Ramser lost it there on 3rd and 1. He looked like he was going to get that first down, but Blessing said, no, not this way. And Borders comes down with it in the UNLV offense with momentum, looking to take this to a 3-score game.
And Las Vegas Raiders head coach Pete Carroll has to be ecstatic about what he saw from Blessing on that last play. When he was with the Seattle Seahawks, they had Seahawk tackling. That is perfect form, textbook tackling, and he was rewarded with a big-time hit there.
And Thomas with a big run to the left side inside Nevada territory and brought it down inside the 40 on 1st and 10.
And right there, Jet Thomas with a big, explosive 33-yard run on that play. There is a flag on the play, but it looks like the referees are going to be picking that one up, and there might be a player down on the field for UNR.
What an impressive run from Jet Thomas, who was injured just a couple games ago and able to bounce back from that hamstring injury. That was one of those injuries there. Coach Mullen was saying, he's a day-to-day kind of guy. We want to make sure he's not playing at 70%. We want him at 100%, and it's for games like these to be able to jar this game loose. There is an injury on the field, so we're going to step aside here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. The injured Wolfpack was Nakean Jackson, the redshirt junior transfer from Sac State. He was able to get up on his own. Glad he is healthy. Deep pass intended for Bradley in triple coverage. He was smothered there. A penalty flag was thrown on the near sideline, and it looks like it's going to go against Nevada.
It looks like it's going to be pass interference on the outside. They understand they had multiple bodies to Jaden Bradley. He was triple covered and still had a man grabbing on him to force him to not be able to come back to the football. And thankfully, Anthony Calandria was not intercepted on the play. But if you're UNLV, you have to love what you're seeing and understanding that you have to stay aggressive. And Jeff Choate spoke about earlier in the game in the press conference that UNLV is going to come with the Lamborghinis and Ferraris. We've seen it on the last play with Jet Thomas and how explosive and fast he can be out of the backfield with that 33-yard gain. And right there, they try to hit their Ferrari on the outside in Jaden Bradley.
It is defensive PI on Kason Kinchin, the 5'9", 182-pound, 6-year player from Lake Stevens, Washington. The throw outside to get it away out of harm's foul is Anthony Calandria on first down, pressure up the middle, and able to get it away safely and not lose yardage there.
And if you're Carter Jones, that's perfect teach tape to quarterback football play. When you know you have a free rusher coming out to you, whether Jet Thomas can make it play on the football or not, you need to be able to get the ball out to live to fight another down. Anthony Calandria was able to do that and set his offense up for a 2nd and 10, other than a sack or sack fumble.
UNLV in the red zone again, 14-3 lead here. On the road, Calandria, keeper to the left side, breaks some tackles, breaking free. Anthony Calandria entering into superpower mode. He's the superhero UNLV's needed, and they're up by 3 scores.
And Ant-Man once again being able to enlarge himself, go to the second level, and use his legs to get into the end zone. And Corey Dennis has so much trust when he puts the ball in 10's hands and allows him to play ISO ball out there for the Rebels and get in with his legs. The kid is a true dual threat quarterback, and when the ball's in his hands and he knows he has the ability to run, he has a halfback's type of vision and knowing how to get to the next level.
Looks like 17's their lucky number. 3 touchdowns tonight. All 17-yarders, 2 runs, 1 pass, and the Rebels lead 21-3 in the Silver State rivalry here on Rebel Sports Net. Three plays, 65 yards in just 38 seconds. The Rebels capitalize off the turnover and fumble from Ramser, recovered by Chief Borders. 38 seconds later, A 17-yard run from Anthony Calandria. Ant-Man himself, the superhero of this offense, taking it in from 17 yards out and putting the Rebels up 21-3.
And that's what happens when Corey Dennis is able to use pre-snap motion to set up the triple option for Anthony Calandria. They're still in college. The option is going to be a big part of every single offense in America in terms of what you want to do when you know you have a quarterback that is elite with his legs. And Corey Dennis was able to take advantage of that. And UNLV on both sides of the football on that last two possessions for defense and offense, able to play complementary football, which is why they have been able to set themselves up for a Mountain West bid. Not only were they able to get that fumble and get and retain possession, but you have the offense holding up their end of the bargain and making sure that the defense is appreciated for their efforts with 6 points on the board.
And this is the 34th straight regular season game for UNLV to score 20-plus points, which is the longest streak in FBS currently right now. And their offensive firepower from the previous regime to this one has not died down in any sense.
And there's a reason why Las Vegas is known as the entertainment capital of the world. And it's because of the high-profile talents that are able to showcase what they have in their toolbox here in Las Vegas, no matter if it's Dan Mullen or if it's Barry Odom. No matter what kind of product you are seeing on the field, you're going to be excited for what they are able to do with the football when they are out there.
And so now the Nevada offense looking to find any spark whatsoever. Ball at their own 25, 1st and 10. Jones in shotgun formation. He's going to roll out to the right. Flat to Ramser. Caught at the line of scrimmage and is unable to get anywhere. Brought down by Jake Pope.
And Jake Pope getting a dap up on the sideline by his defensive coordinator and Paul Gunther. But because he was able to do a great job of spying on the running back, knowing it was him and man-to-man coverage, he stayed right in the hip pocket throughout the entire time and didn't allow UNR to pick up any yards on that play. Elite safety coverage and playing in the box by Jake Pope on that play.
So the Rebels lead by 18, 21-3 as the clock continues to tick. Less than 10 and a half minutes to go here in the first half. 2nd and 10 here for the Wolfpack. Handoff Ramser up the middle. Breaks the tackle, fighting for more, and brought down after a gain of 5 at their own 30.
And Isaiah Patterson is going to be beating himself up on that play because he had a sure-handed tackle right in his arms. But because of the second effort by Ramser with that number 41, he's doing a great job with his contact balance and fighting through tackling, much like a similar number 41 in the NFL, Alvin Kamara. You love to see the effort and fight by him on that play.
3rd and 5 here. Big down for the Wolfpack. Trying to draw this UNLV defense off sides once again. They've been able to do that a number of times here tonight. Unsuccessful to do it here. 8 seconds on the play clock. Jones drops back, looking. Pressure hit as he throws. Incomplete pass, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
And Paul Gunther once again showing he is not afraid to send those nickels off the edge if they are going to play smart football. But you had Igbase and Adelea being able to both get after the quarterback, and Scanlon in the backfield as well forces Carter Jones to have to throw an incomplete pass. And once again, this UNR offense will have to settle for a 3-and-out. And it looks like this game could be getting away from them very quickly up there in Reno today.
4th and 5, the punt from Ettridge, who was added to the Ray Guy Award watch list on October 26th of this year. He's one of the premier punters in the nation, and he punts that one back into UNLV territory. And so UNLV's offense will come back out at their own 27-yard line, and Anthony Calandria has been nothing short of a superhero today, as they call him Ant-Man. AC, they're not stopping him anytime soon.
No, and they understand that for this UNLV team to continue to be successful, they're going to have to lean on number 10 to continue to put them in positions where they can be successful. And if he does that, the sky's the limit for this UNLV offense.
So 1st and 10, handoff to the right side, fighting for yards, not going to get much of anywhere. This Wolfpack defense staying stout as Thomas is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And that was such a great effort on the inside by number 32, Dylan LaBarbera, the team's leading tackle with 83 tackles on the year from the defensive tackle position and with 6 sacks as well for this team. He's going to be needed to be able to get them back in this football game, and it starts with winning in the trenches and doing that with your dogs. He did it right there on that play.
He's one of the top players in the nation as well on the defensive end. He's the #1 player in the Mountain West for tackles for loss with 17 on the season. Almost another one there to tack onto that total. Calandria finding any space to try to get any of this offense moving, and he throws it away, intended for Elksness on the far sideline. And a great defensive stop there for Nevada. And it's going to set up a 3rd and long for UNLV.
Yeah, Anthony Calandria wheeling out of the pocket looking like Shadur Sanders. We see him doing a lot of the same thing where you wheel out and try to see and give yourself more space to look downfield. Unfortunately, he has to throw the ball away, but sometimes, again, the best play is a throwaway. He's able to keep the ball out of harm's way, and that's perfect quarterback play. You give yourself another down to work with. Let's see what Corey Dennis can draw up here on a big 3rd and 10.
21-3, 8:38 remains here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Calandria, shotgun formation, drops back, surveys the field. Quick check down. Thomas to the outside, makes a man miss, picks up the 1st down just before the 40-yard line, and is going to move the chains for the Rebel offense.
And plays like that on the defensive end, if you are a defensive coordinator, Kaniane, it is going to be a backbreaker for your team. You did a great job across the board in coverage and force Anthony Calandria to simply find his check down in Jet Thomas. But when you have a guy like Jet Thomas who is explosive and lightning in a bottle and ready to make a play at any given notice, he's able to make one man miss and pick up the 1st down for the Rebels.
So that now sets up 1st and 10 with 8 minutes to go. The Rebels lead 21-3. Another check down. Thomas left side now running inside and able to pick up the 1st down for the Rebels once again on a catch and run. Less than 8 minutes to go here, and the chains are continually moving for this UNLV offense.
And if you're growing up, you watch Looney Tunes, you watch a little bit of that Tom and Jerry. Jet Thomas has so much Jerry to him in terms of his elusiveness and his ability to get out of harm's way and get out of trouble. On that play, he made 2 Nevada or Reno defenders run into each other on the sideline just trying to make that tackle on him. But once again, you have Anthony Calandria finding his quick read for a check down and setting up a nice play for the Rebels.
1st and 10 at the Reno 48. Wildcat formation. Earl with the direct snap. Going to go to the right side, running it himself, trying to break free, fighting through a tackle, and is brought down out of bounds inside the 45 at the 44. And he was tackled by La Barbera.
La Barbera once again with the big-time tackle to get JoJo Earl. But again, it goes to show the trust that Corey Dennis has in this offense and the weapons that he has in both the backfield and in the wide receiver room. We seen last week JoJo Earl score on another type of play where he is the main recipient of the ball from the center. Right there, he's able to pick up 4 yards and a run play for the Rebels.
That was a 27-yard run last week against Hawaii. And he had a good run there. Now Kevon Lee getting the handoff on 2nd and 6. Not going to go much of anywhere. His forward progress might have stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nonetheless, a good defensive stop there on 2nd down for Nevada.
And that's a good job by UNR, understanding that they're not going to go away quietly. They understand they are in an 18-point deficit, but defensively they have to understand that they need to get stops against this UNLV team to give their offense a shot to stay within the game. If they do that, they're going to set themselves up for success, but they're going to have to get off the field on 3rd down situations.
And he was met first by Mervyn Kenyon III, the 5th-year transfer from Sacramento State. Now sets up 3rd and 5. Calandria, shotgun, fires far sideline, connects inside the 35. Bradley breaking some tackles and falls down at the 28 for a Rebel 1st down.
And if you're going back to the film room for that play, elite play designed by Corey Dennis, but no, it's just simple football. But you had a lack of communication in the back end by the University of Nevada Reno DBs, understanding who was going to take Jaden Bradley as he motioned across the formation. Because of that, they're playing 10 to 15 yards off. He takes the simple speed cut to the outside and picks up another 1st down for the Rebels.
And a timeout here taken by Nevada. 5:25 remains. The Rebels lead 21-3. Don't go anywhere. More action on the other side here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. The Rebels offense is on the move at the Nevada 28-yard line. And it was not a timeout by Nevada, but we had to step aside for a quick moment. 5:27 remains. Both teams with 3 timeouts. 21-3 lead for UNLV. 1st and 10 here. Shotgun formation. Trickery here. Bradley going around the side. Reversal off the left side. Cuts back in. Breaking tackles inside the 15. Brought down at the 13.
And Corey Dennis is in his bag right now, like the fries are at the bottom with his play calling. They go with Anthony Calandria, and they get the defense leading one way, going all the way to the right of formation. But what do they do to get their star, Jaden Bradley, the football? They run an end around to the left side of the field. There's no defenders over there. He makes multiple men miss and picks up another first down for this UNLV offense.
15-yard carry by Bradley sets him up 1st and 10 at the Nevada 13. Bunch formation on the right side. Shotgun, Calandria, play action, rolls out right, looking, surveys, fires near side, caught inside the 10, fighting for extra yards, and is going to be stopped forward progress. Tayshawn Lyons near the 7.
More of the depth in this UNLV offense and how efficient they've been able to be no matter who is on the football field. There's going to be a flag on the play. This one might be getting called back due to UNLV running some type of RPO in a legal men downfield.
And it's going to go against UNLV, so they're going to back up this offense here. We take a look at the replay, Johnny. What are you seeing?
Right here, you have offensive linemen and RPO plays. They are meant and known that if it is a run formation, they're going to keep moving upfield. But when you do that, and if Anthony Calandria doesn't throw the ball away in time and they keep moving up the line of scrimmage, the referees are going to call it every single time. That's going to back up this UNLV offense to 1st and 15.
Ball at the Nevada 18. Calandria motions out left. Direct snap to Thomas. He gets it left side. Cuts back in. No one's going to touch him. Touchdown, Thomas. 18-yard strike. And he has taken flight here in Nevada.
And Corey Dennis is going to be looked at after this season for a couple jobs because the way he's been able to be so effective with his play calling and knowing how to get his superstars the footballs in multiple different ways has led to this UNLV offense continuing to be so high-powered. And with 27 points in the first half, they are already creeping up to their season average for every single game. They have done a great job of executing the play calls, and it starts with your offensive lineman being able to pull a guard to the second level and allow Jet Thomas, who is a lead out in space, to get to the second level and get a touchdown.
That's his 10th total touchdown of the season, 9th on the ground for number 9, Jet Thomas. And Rebel chants emerge inside Allegiant Stadium up north in Reno. The Rebels lead 28-3 here on Rebel Sports Net. Nine plays, 73 yards in just 5 minutes and 15 seconds of total time in possession. 4 touchdowns in just 5 drives. This UNLV offense has been on fire this first half, Johnny.
And you have to know that Dan Mullen coming into this game, he knew what head coach Jeff Choate said about this team and their will to win in the drive, and how they were going to come out and respond in this game was going to be a very telltale sign to what was going to happen. And UNLV so far today offensively, only 1 punt on that second drive when they were in their own end of the field, but so far since then, 3 touchdowns on 3 straight possessions, and their offense is off and clicking. There needs to be any type of response so far from this offense with David Gilbertson, the offensive coordinator for UNR, to be able to put points up. And if they don't, the game, which has already ran away from them very quick, will get out of hand early.
21 points in the first quarter. Touchback here. So Nevada will start at their own 25. Across the left side, caught by Carpenter, past the 45, and the first down there for Nevada. Talk about a spark.
And again, we have Jet Thomas. UNR has Jet Carpenter. He's the leading receiver on this team from the tight end position for a reason. And you love the sidearm ability by Carter Jones to be able to put the ball right on the money. Right now, David Gilbertson understands that his play calling sheet is going to be a little bit scarce. He needs to push the ball downfield, and they're going to have to score points in bunches. They're going to have to score them quickly. You're going to look to see more pass plays here from UNR.
So a 21-yard catch for Carpenter. Handoff, Ramser up the middle and able to get a gain of about 4, brought down at the 49. So a gain of 3 on first down.
And I like that play call to be able to settle down your freshman quarterback who just made a big play, go back to the run, still allow that to be a viable option in this offense. But for UNLV, you did exactly what you needed to do. You stopped them for a 3-yard or less run, and now you're setting yourself up. If you can get a pass incomplete on third or second down here, you can put pressure on the quarterback, Jones, who is desperate to push the ball downfield.
Ball thrown 49. Quick screen here. Ramser catches it, moving the chains. Hopeful the clock will move. He was near the first down marker. They're going to mark him short, and it's going to be third down for Nevada inside UNLV territory.
And for UNR at this point in the game, it's 2-down territory. They understand they cannot walk away with this drive without having points on the board. And with a 3rd-and-1 situation, you want to set yourself up to have something quick and easy to pick up the first down and give you a manageable down if you don't get it. If you don't get it in this situation, knowing that you're going to have to get points, you're setting yourself up for failure to come in the next 2 plays.
4 third down opportunities, have not been able to convert on third down, and they do so here, picking up the first down by the way of Bellon, the redshirt senior from UTEP, brought down near the 42-yard line, and he's going to move the chains for Nevada's offense.
And that's going to set us up for the 2-minute warning, but I love the play call there to be able to understand UNLV playing off-man coverage, take advantage of that, hit the wide receiver screen, and allow your playmaker to get the first down.
2-minute timeout. Rebels lead 28-3 here in the first half. Welcome back here on Rebel Sports Net. Wyatt, Touchet, and Johnnie Graves here. 2-minute timeout. just fresh out of that break. And Nevada on the move, 1st and 10 at the UNLV 41. They trail 28-3 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Shotgun formation. Ramser motion to the flat on the right side. Trips right across the middle. Caught and brought down near the first down marker is Carpenter.
And Jet Carpenter, once again, he's able to diagnose and recognize that Paul Gunther is playing off zone coverage. So what does he do? He finds the spot in the zone, sits in it, and allows Jones to hit him.
Empty formation. Jones fires far sideline and is dropped on the play by Brown. Marshawn Brown, the redshirt sophomore from Reno, Nevada, one of the locals on this squad in northern Nevada, unable to come down with it because it was just too far behind him from Jones.
And you love the ability on the outside by Andrew Powdrell. It says 5'10". The guy's around 5'9", playing on that outside cornerback position, but he does a great job of using the trigger step and getting to the hip of the wide receiver, not looking in the backfield at Jones, but looking at the wide receiver playing through the ball and forcing an incompletion.
So now sets up 2nd and 10 at the UNLV 30-yard line. Thomas, the motion man from the right side. And now a pre-snap whistle blown, and it looks like a timeout has been called by Nevada's offense. And we will step aside here with 1:46 remaining. UNLV leads 28-3 here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. Wyatt, Touchet, and Johnnie Graves here on the call. The Rebels lead 28-3, 1:48 remaining, and Nevada takes their second timeout. 2nd and 10 here, shotgun formation, handoff. Ramser to the right side, tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and is brought down at the line. Tackle there by Spellman.
And right there, you had Amari Spellman playing at that right defensive end, and he understands how to win the edge. He does not allow them to get outside of his frame in the offensive line, and he makes sure that Ramser is not able to get north and south and has to go east and west, setting up a 3rd and long for this Paul Gunther defense. And you know why. Pressure is going to come after Jones and force him to get the ball out quick. There could be potential for a turnover on this play if UNLV's DBs can get their hand on the ball.
Nevada has only converted 1 of 5 here on 3rd down, 3rd and 11 at the UNLV 31. Firing near sideline, going to go deep. Incomplete. Looking to find the end zone, unable to do so. Great coverage there by Quandarius Keys.
Quandarius Keys, one-on-one, they blitz off the edge, and UNR actually does a great job of protecting Carter Jones on this play. But because of the blanket coverage on the outside by Quandarius Keys on number 1, Jordan Brown, he does a fantastic job of staying in phase and not playing defense and forcing a penalty on that play, and UNR is going to have to potentially settle for 3 once again.
So Joe McFadden, 78.6% on the season, kicked a 40-yard field goal earlier and misses this one off the left upright, and Nevada comes out empty-handed from 47 yards out, and there's 52 seconds remaining in the half, and the Rebels with 3 timeouts.
And if you're Jeff Choate, the head coach for UNR, that is an absolute gut punch to try to go and down and score against this UNLV defense and try to settle for 3, and the ball hits and doinks off the left upright. That is not what he wanted to see. And not only did he do that, but he gives UNLV, with great field position, an opportunity to go downfield and get 3 points of their own or a touchdown with 52 seconds and 3 timeouts. That is a world of time for Ant-Man. You know Corey Dennis is going to try to be aggressive with his play calling here.
So 1st and 10 at their own 31. Handoff lead to the left side, trying to get some positive yards. Hit behind the line of scrimmage, and the clock will continue to tick after a loss of 2.
And I'm very confused as to why there was no horse collar penalty on that play. It looked like Kevon Lee got wrapped up and his head whipped just enough to be able to get that call. Referees didn't see enough, and it looked like they might be playing a little bit conservative here, knowing they're playing with a 25-point lead. They might tend to just run this one out before half.
So 23 seconds remain, and a whistle is blown pre-snap. It's going to be a false start on this offense.
And it looks like now, especially after that false start penalty, this UNLV offense will simply run the football out and go into halftime with that 25-point lead, feeling very good about the brand of football they have been able to have so far in this game. We have to see if they're going to be able to play another 30 minutes of smart, strong, and complementary football. And if they do so, they will walk out of UNR victors and hold that Fremont Cannon for the 4th straight year.
So this 5-yard penalty, they're waiting to see if UNLV is going to take a timeout because the clock was running. See if there's a 10-second delay. Score is currently 28-3. The Rebels lead with just 21 seconds currently here remaining in this game. The false start penalty is going to cause UNLV to have a tough decision. Do they take the timeout or do they let the clock continue to run? And it's 2nd and 15. They do take the timeout because they are going to try to make some points out of this drive.
And it looks like they will. It looks like with this field position, with them at around the 24-yard line, they are going to try to push the ball downfield and see if they can make something happen.
So ball on their own 24. Calandra drops back, firing deep, far sideline. Intercepted, going the other way. Mervin Kenyon III with the pick.
And if you're UNLV and Dan Mullen, and especially Anthony Calandra, that's not what you wanted. In this case, if your defense is able to get a stop, you're able to flip the side of the field, and that was simply just an arm punt for Anthony Calandra. But where the ball is spotted, it is at the 45-yard line, and UNR does have one timeout left in their back pocket, but an amazing play in the back end from the defensive back position to be able to come down with that interception and give his offense another shot to get points on the board.
And so with 15 seconds remaining and one timeout, Nevada has an opportunity to try to get any kind of points on the board before the halftime break. They trail 28-3 in the Silver State rivalry here in Reno at home. Jones going to keep it up the middle inside UNLV territory, brought down at the 48, tackle there by Edmondson.
And right there, I like that play call from Gilbertson, understanding that if UNLV is coming out with their off-man coverage, playing a prevent defense, you're going to run straight through it with your quarterback, with the defense not expecting for you to run that play and be able to push the ball upfield. Now, Paul Gunther needs to make sure that his guys understand, do not let anything behind you and allow this UNR team that is desperate for points to get a big shot play and potentially a touchdown. Keep everything in front of you and tackle inbounds. If you do that, you limit their opportunity to take a field goal to get 3 points in this game. And if you make a firm, hard tackle with no timeouts on the UNR side and still in bounds, the play clock will simply run out and UNLV will be able to finish with 3 points on the other end for UNR.
Coach Choate decided to take his final timeout of the half, and 11 seconds remain. So UNLV in a deep prevent defense trying to stop them from scoring a potential touchdown and get away from that field goal target line at the 35-yard line for Nevada's offense. 2nd and 2 here. Snap. Jones drops back across the middle. Caught by Bellon. Picks up the first down and gets out of bounds with just 5 seconds remaining. Pushed out of bounds by Brown, and they have one shot to throw a Hail Mary.
And right here, like you said, Wyatt, they are not in field goal range to be able to make something happen. But if you're UNLV, with them knowing that they're going to have to get points, they are going to push the ball downfield, and Carter Jones is going to try to see if he has enough arm power to get the ball in the end zone. But you have to know not to have any penalties or defensive pass interference here.
So on first down, quick out route trying to get it, and he is out of bounds by Powdrell. Caught on the play by Thomas, but his forward progress gets him going backwards, and the clock will go to 0.
And UNLV, an excellent job by Andrew Powdrill playing that cornerback position of knowing that if you hit the wide receiver inbounds and stop his forward progress, the clock is going to wind every single time. They're able to do that and limit this Nevada Reno offense to no points on that drive. Excellent execution on the outside by Powdrill.
The cream of the crop has risen to the top here in the first half. The Rebels lead 28-3. Going into halftime, we're going to have more coverage on the other side here on Rebel Sports Net. The beginning of the second half, the Rebels lead 28-3 here in the Silver State rivalry. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, Wyatt, Touchet, and Johnnie Graves. The Rebels a tremendous first half, 21 points in that second quarter, almost 300 yards total, 268 so far through the first two quarters, and they were able to jar the ball loose on Ramser and able to turn it in for 7 points through Troy Omiwe across the middle. Johnnie, just a spectacular first half for the Rebels coming out in this rivalry game with a lot on the line. Not only the Fremont Cannon, but a chance to get your bid in for the Mountain West title game as well.
And they have been able to do it through the onset of 8 penalties for 37 yards going against the Rebels so far today. They need to keep up the execution and the level of execution that they've been able to have in that first half, and particularly that second quarter. If they do that and play a complete 30 minutes of football and do not bail out this UNR team, they will not only be running away with the Fremont Cannon for the 4th year in a row, but they will also be putting a very high stamp and allow the computers to have even better stats to look at for a potential bid in the Mountain West Championship.
UNLV currently leads by 25 to start the third quarter. Their largest margin of victory came by way in 1975 by 38 points, 45-7 final, and they are well on their way to potentially set a new largest victory inside the Silver State rivalry game here.
And for UNR here in this drive, you know that Jeff Choate going into halftime had to have given his team a talking to about the level of preparedness they went into in this game, and now they have to meet that with effort on the football field and execution on both ends.
And they will start with the ball first and 10 at their own 25, faking the handoff. He's going to run, and that's Purdy, the left side. It's a track meet. Inside the 30, in UNLV territory, pushed out of bounds by Paldrell, and what a statement fresh out of the halftime break.
And Chuba Purdy on that play, able to run himself almost out of his socks on that play, taking the quarterback read option, running right up the gut. And if it wasn't for the elite effort by Andrew Paldrell to run him down, we might be seeing another Purdy in the end zone for UNR. But you have to love the effort right there by Andrew Paldrell. But for the first play of scrimmage to come out, that was the life that UNR needed on the offensive end to give them some juice.
58-yard run, now handoff to Ramser. Ball at the UNLV 17. He's going to run this in on the right side. No one touches him. Touchdown, Wolfpack. And they finally get in the end zone for the first time this game.
And if you're talking about an answer, Wyatt, and how you're going to change the course of the football game, that was exactly what this team needed in terms of coming into the second half with a little bit of life. We've seen this script before with this UNLV team in their last game when they were up the same amount of points and had to come out into the second half, and there was a quick adjustment by the University of Hawaii coming out and scoring a touchdown quickly. UNR was able to answer this UNLV offense that has been so high potent and so high powered with a quick score that only took 43 seconds to get into the end zone for UNR. That is extremely important.
17-yard rush by Ramser off to the right side and off to the races and in. And a good answer and a good start to the second half here for the Wolfpack. They only trail now 28-10 here on Rebel Sports Net. To play 75 yards in just 43 seconds and an opening drive for Nevada in the second half. The perfect start for this team. Could not have asked for a better 2 plays by the legs of Purdy, 58-yard carry, and then 17 from the legs of Caleb Ramser.
And they understand so far in this game, they have been able to have success when it comes to running the football. Both Ramser and Purdy are going to be needed in this football game, and they're going to have to do it with their legs. We've seen Jones not be able to be as consistent from the quarterback position in terms of pushing the ball downfield. So what does UNR do? And offensive coordinator Gilbertson have to pull out of his bag of tricks to get them back in this game. He's going to utilize that run game. We saw it there, and it starts again with the blocking. Blocking on the outside for Ramser's touchdown was extremely phenomenal, with safety Jake Pope not in position to make the tackle on Ramser to save that touchdown.
And so now UNLV's offense will come out to the field for the first time in the second half. They have an 18-point lead, 28-10, and their first drive comes here on the 25. Handoff up the middle for a gain of maybe 2 from Jet Thomas.
It was a very scary play right there. You had Jet Thomas's legs getting caught up in the mix of almost a man sandwich on that play, but they were able to get him out of there. He was unscathed and clean, and I like the play call from Corey Dennis, understanding that, yes, UNR came out with that a little bit of life, being able to get points on the board, but UNLV needs to stay ahead of schedule and stay on track.
2nd and 8, trips left, shotgun formation. Calandria rolls out left, intended for Reynolds, unable to connect. That one's thrown out of bounds, and that brings up a 3rd and long.
And that is one of the few times that we've seen Anthony Calandra rolling out or bootlegging out of the pocket to both either his left or right side, and him not be on the money with his receivers in terms of completing that catch. But you know that Corey Dennis is not going to lose faith and hope in his quarterback. He knows the type of talent that he is, and he's been able to produce on any given Saturday so far this season. Anthony Calandra with another opportunity to convert here on 3rd and 8.
So shotgun on 3rd and 8, ball at their own 27, trips left here. Calandria drops back, surveys the field, fires across the seam, caught. This time it's Reynolds. He connects finally and brought down inside the 45 near midfield.
And right there, Dede Reynolds doing his own 3-ball to be able to get up and run that slant route to perfection. And Anthony Calandra hit him on the money with an absolute bullet. He understood where UNR was playing zone coverage, and he knew what route was going to come right open, right across the middle of the field in that seam area. He puts the ball right on the money, and Dede Reynolds with the big-time catch and conversion for the Rebels.
It's now 1st and 10 at their own 47. Calandria rolls out right, looking, has time, fires deep down the middle, caught! That's Jaden Bradley inside the 5, and a 50-yard strike for the Rebels.
And Corey Dennis, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. He goes right back to the play that they had, which is the shot play, rolling out Anthony Calandra to his right. And earlier it was JoJo Earl. This time it's Jaden Bradley. He is running the backside post route, which means he's going to clear that outside cornerback, force his outside leverage, go back inside, come across the middle. He gets eyes up to the football and is able to complete the catch between the outside cornerback and the safety to push UNLV inside of the red zone.
And it's 1st and goal at the 4, officially 48 yards. And it looks like some miscommunication from the headset of Corey Dennis and Dan Mullen to the helmet of Anthony Calandria. Calandria with 12 seconds on the play clock is asking him to replay the call. But once it's past 15 seconds, they can't get that call to Calandria, and so they're going to have to burn a timeout here, the first one of the half. Just 2 minutes have passed here in the 3rd quarter. You hate to see that, but, man, we go back to this play. What a ball from Anthony Calandria, throwing it deep, and he's hit afterwards pretty late. But, man, him and Bradley all season long has just been like peanut butter and jelly.
All season long, Wyatt, like you said, like peanut butter and jelly, the cohesiveness and the connection between the quarterback and wide receiver, it is a special thing in the game of football. And you can see from any level of football, you need guys to have that kind of synergy together because it allows special plays to happen. They've been able to do that so far for the Rebels this season, and once again, they were able to pick up on a big-time completion, pushing the ball downfield, and Anthony Calandria showing his gunslinging ability once again for the Rebels.
1st and goal at the 4, under center, Calandria motions out to the right, direct snap, Thomas. He's going to go to the right side. They scored earlier, and they do again. A 4-yard run for Jet Thomas, and he's in for 6.
Jet Thomas knows that he has another guy on his list that he's headhunting in Jeremiah Love. He knows there's a long way to go in terms of scoring touchdowns, but the guy has a knack for getting in the end zone. So what do you do if you're Corey Dennis? Once again, if it isn't broke, you don't fix it. You give him the direct snap once again and allow him to run into the end zone for a touchdown, and UNLV answers UNR right back with their own 6 points to extend this lead to 24 points.
Jet Thomas with the hat trick in the beginning of the third quarter. 93 yards on the ground, 8 carries for 3 touchdowns, and a commanding 35-10 lead for the Fremont Cannon on the line. Five plays, 75 yards in just 2 minutes and 4 seconds of time of possession. And Jet Thomas has 3 rushing touchdowns on the day. A hat trick here for the Jet. 8 carries, 93 yards. And he has just been a monster, not only all career long with the Scarlet and Gray, but tonight especially in one of the biggest games of UNLV history.
We know the similarities between a Jet and a Cannon. They both are explosive, and Jet Thomas has been able to do that so far today for the Rebels. Over 93 yards today on 8 attempts and 3 touchdowns on the day. But an explosive kick return here for UNR to push the ball downfield, although there is a flag on the play. This one might be getting called back for a hold.
And it will be getting called back, a flag throw near the 35-yard line on Nevada's side of the territory. They were able to get that return near midfield, but like you said, partner, it is coming back a good return from Woods, and it looks like it's all for nothing.
And plays like that, if you're UNR, you're having an explosive play on special teams to try to give your offense a positive field position and move the ball downfield. And because of the flag on the play, now you're getting penalized, and what could have been a positive for your offense is now negated because of that penalty. The execution today on the UNR side has not been what it's needed to be to put them in a situation to win this football game. They have to try to dig themselves out of this hole and continue to get points on the board to keep pace with this high-powered UNLV offense.
So now the penalty is a holding call on Nevada, so that'll back them up inside their own 30. As we've mentioned previously, partner, If UNLV wins, it will be a 4-way tie for first place in the Mountain West. So it'll have to be decided by a composite computer averaging the 4-poll rankings and who is the best in the West. And we will know Sunday morning, 8 a.m. tomorrow. But for now, 1st and 10, pistol formation, handoff to the right side. For Nevada is Kelly, fighting his way forward and finally brought down after a first down. Spotted at the 30.
And they let that whistle go very long. But I like UNLV's defense understanding that with Chuba Purdy on the field, there had to be a communication as to where he was at all times. And you've seen every player on the football field communicating with each other and understanding that they knew the personnel that was on the field for UNR, and they weren't going to allow another explosive play to happen. Now it's going to be a 2nd and 4 for UNLV. The referees played it dead.
So 2nd and 4, they stopped him after a gain of 6. Alualu getting some pressure, but Purdy going deep and overthrows his man. And he had a walk-in touchdown if he was able to connect Morris Brown in coverage.
Morris Brown in coverage on the back end. And this is the reason why Chuba Purdy is not the starter for this team. He is inaccurate with the football on a chance where he had a shot with his wide receiver getting open against Morris Brown. But because of his inaccuracies as a quarterback and not being able to be a true dual threat with both his arms and his legs, he is unable to connect, and they are going to have to be set up for a 3rd and 4 here. Big-time position for this UNLV defense to get their offensive football back.
3rd and 4, ball at their own 26, shotgun formation. Jones has time, checks it down. Ramser one-on-one on the outside and brought down by McDuffie, and he's going to be short of the line to gain.
And that is what you want to see from your captain on the defense, your leader of the team in Marcel McDuffie. We've seen Ramser time and time again be able to make moves, be elusive, and not allow the first man to get him down. But Marcel McDuffie said, nuh-uh, I'm having none of that. He gets him down on the ground and forces UNR to punt the ball away in a situation where they needed to pick up that first down. But because they are in their territory, they have to play smart football and are giving the football back to Corey Dennis, Anthony Calandria, and this elite offense.
So Ettridge will punt this one. And back for the Rebels is Irvin. Fair caught at the 25. And that's where this UNLV offense will come out. Some smack talk there at the end of that kick. But the Rebels lead with their actions. They lead 35-10 here on Rebel Sports Net. All right, the Rebels come back onto the field with a 35-10 lead at their own 25-yard line. 10:28 remains. Here live on the broadcast, Wyatt, Touchet, Johnnie Graves. And it looks like a direct snap Wildcat here for UNLV. Taking up the right side, Earl lit up after a gain of 8, but able to get some chunk yardage there.
And right there, JoJo Earl, once again, they come out in that wildcat formation, allow him to get hands on the football, and he's able to pick up a solid 8 yards on the play. But a big-time hit from the DB, Mervin Kenyon III, coming downhill, ready to tackle, ready to hit, trying to give his team on the defensive end some bit of life and sense of urgency and effort. Let's see what the Rebels can do here on 2nd and 2.
Play action back to Earl on the screen, left side, and tackled near the 40, but not after he picks up a first down.
JoJo Earl showing his resiliency as a football player and especially a wide receiver. They talk about wide receivers like they're divas, like they can't take big-time hits. You see him take a big hit right there and come right back on the wide receiver screen, the bubble screen to the outside. And Corey Dennis, once again, willing and dealing with his play calling, understanding what it takes to keep the ball moving downfield and keep getting first downs.
So now 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 39, actually. Calandra rolls out right, fires across the middle, connects inside Nevada territory. It's Troy O'Meara inside the 25. A little extra push. He almost trips on the kicking net. No flags, but a big pickup for this UNLV offense.
And Corey Dennis knows that he needs to play to the strength of his offense and play to the strengths of his players. He rolls Anthony Calandria out with that moving pocket once again and allows Troy O'Meara on the backside running the inside dig route. Anthony Calandria puts the ball right on that number 0, that big O, and he's able to pick up another big chunk play to keep this rolling Rebel offense moving down the field.
And a 38-yard catch and run for O'Meara. He almost pushed out by a curmudgeon. 1st and 10 here inside the 30. Ball spot at the 23. And the whistle is blown dead pre-snap. And it looks like a timeout has been called by UNLV, their second of the half. And so we're going to step aside here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. Wyatt, Touchet, Johnnie Graves live here on the call. The Rebels lead 35-10. They just took their second timeout of the second half here in the third quarter. 8:36 remains. And this offense for the Rebels is on the move. Ball's at the Nevada 22-yard line.
And right here for the Rebels, taking that second timeout of this second half, understanding with that big lead and big cushion, knowing that you're in scoring position and you're trying to set yourself up. Sometimes as a coach, you have to understand when to use those timeouts to make sure you get the right play across.
So 1st and 10, ball at the Nevada 23, handoff up the middle, and Thomas with the carry. Might have gone a yard or two there. It's going to set up second down.
It was a great job by the UNR defense to be able to make sure Jet Thomas was getting to the ground and was not bouncing off of contact. We see him do that numerous times so far all season for the UNLV Rebels. But in that situation, you had Logo Va being able to play great defense. The 6'3", 390-pound D tackle, getting his nose dirty in there, limiting UNLV to only 1 yard on that play.
Now 2nd and 9, only a gain of 1 there from Thomas. Shotgun formation, Calandra, Coy Moore in motion, play action, looking, fires across the middle, intercepted in the end zone. He's going to run it back. That's number 5, Mervin Kenyon, the third. That's the second interception on Anthony Calandra from Kenyon, the third. He has his number tonight.
And that's going to be the second ball now for Anthony Calandria that he is going to want back when they go over film and watch over this game. He thought he had his wide receiver going across the middle, and Nick Elson is, and he did not see the free safety, Kenyon III, in the backfield playing the eyes and reading Anthony Calandria. The moment he saw him declare where he was going with the football, he immediately broke on it, high-pointed it, got 2 hands to the ball, and made a big-time stop and turnover and given some life to this UNR defense.
And so this offense, who has only put up 10 points throughout this game, has an opportunity with another turnover by this defense. That's 2 total, and try to go down and get some points off of it. The Rebels got 1 turnover by a fumble recovery, and they were able to put up 7. Let's see if Nevada is able to do the same here with 7:51 remaining in the third quarter, Johnny.
And if you're head coach Jeff Choate, you have to understand that from a defensive point of view, being able to get the stop there, you now have to come out and play complementary football and show that defense that they're, again, their efforts have not gone to vain. You need to come out of this drive with points, and you have to understand you are now putting the pressure on that UNLV offense to continue to come out and be successful. And they could change their game plan now with Anthony Calandria throwing 2 interceptions. Do I believe that Corey Dennis is going to stray away and change his play calling? Probably, knowing that the circumstances with UNLV being up, if UNR happens to get 6 points out of this, they will be up 19 points. And going into the fourth quarter, they're going to want to play a smarter brand of football. We'll see what the decision-making will be there for the UNLV side.
So a stoppage of play after one of the sound crew got hit after that interception is still down on the ground. A player was shoved out of bounds and made contact with someone on the sideline. So an injury timeout. We're going to step aside here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sportsnet. It was an elderly lady that was working the sideline sound with that half audio boom for the Nevada sideline. She did get hit. She was able to get up, and they carted her off. She was able to get up on her own will and walk to the cart. And so she's been driven off here. 7:51 remaining here in the third quarter. Hope she is all right. UNLV leads 35-10. First and 10 for the Wolfpack after the interception by Mervyn Kenyon III. And they will take over at their own 14-yard line. Johnny, sad sight to see for the elderly lady, but especially for Anthony Calandria now, second interception of the game. And a good note for this Wolfpack offense, you have another opportunity. Can they capitalize here in the second half?
And right here, they have an opportunity now. They're going to have to go almost the length of the football field, but they have a great opportunity here to be explosive.
Handoff to the left side, broken tackle, trucks a man, and is able to pick up the first down. Good run there by Turner Jr., turning on the Jets.
And Turner Jr. did exactly that. He turned on the Jets to the outside, and that was the first carry that we've seen from him so far today, trying to give some more life and have another option in the backfield for this UNR offense. And they're going to need that. They're going to need to get big plays wherever they can get it, whether that be from Carter Jones or whether that be from the running back Ramster like we've seen today or Chibba Purdy. They need consistent offense from someone.
So now first and 10 at their own 27. He's going to fire one and pass deflected on the deep route. Powdrill in coverage.
Andrew Powdrill going up against NFL player, his son, Nate Burleson II on the outside. And that was beautiful coverage by Andrew Powdrill to stay in phase, get a hand to the football. And also, I love the pressure interiorly by Lucas Conti, forcing Carter Jones to throw that ball away and have to throw it downfield, because if he didn't throw it away, it was going to be a sack for the Rebels.
And that's Burleson II. His father, Nate Burleson, played at Nevada from 2000 to 2002. His mother, Atoya Burleson, ran track for the Wolfpack as well. And, of course, it's a family affair, so his uncles as well played for the basketball team. And a third down here for Nevada after a huge chunk play on the ground for Thomas. Sets up a 3rd and 4. But Burleson II, that whole family bleeds Nevada blue. And I bet they are more than proud of him being and following in their footsteps.
100%. We've seen so many situations now with a lot of these guys that, we grew up idolizing, that were in their playing careers. Now their sons are coming out and making a name for themselves. But what better place to do it than a place that your parents called home?
And Rams are on 3rd and 4, running to the outside, stuffed by Marcel McDuffie. He maybe gets a yard of 1, and it'll be 4th down here for Nevada. But if you're Coach Cho, you got to go for it on 4th down here. You're down by 25.
You have to. Like you said, Wyatt, you're down by 25. You only have 6 minutes and the entire 4th quarter remaining. But you know that if UNLV gets the ball back going again, and with those 3 timeouts, you know that coming into this position, you have to be aggressive. But they trot the punt team out once again, looking like they were not going to be aggressive in their side of the field.
And so Ettrich, with less than 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, Nevada will take their first timeout, 1 of 3 on 4th and 2. So we're going to step aside here. Don't go anywhere. More action on the other side. The first time out for Nevada, so the offense will come back out onto the field after considering the opportunity. Offensive coordinator David Gilbertson will put this offense back out on the field, 4th and 2 at their own 35. And a jump off sides by Cohen Fuller. So the gamble by Nevada pays off, and they'll get another first down by way of a offside penalty from this UNLV defense.
And that was simply due to the snap count. And because Gilbertson understood that this UNLV defensive line has been very antsy so far today, they have had multiple penalties go against them, he changed up the snap count and forced Colin Fuller, knowing it was a big fourth down situation, to jump outsides for the free first down.
That's got to be the fifth or sixth offside penalty. A lot of those came in the first quarter. They did clean it up for the most part, but we're seeing glimpses of that here. What could have been fourth down in their own territory with a stop is now 1st and 10 at their own 40. Nevada, play action. Jones looking, fires across the middle. Is it caught? Yes, it is. Carpenter able to come down with it, and it's a first down for the Wolfpack.
And right there, just an incredible catch and concentration by Jet Carpenter. He sticks his left arm out and his hand. If your hand touches the football, it has to be yours. He is able to keep it up in the air, spikes it right with his left hand, and is able to come down right under it, and that's a catch for the Wolfpack, and they keep the chains moving for a gain of 14.
UNLV leads by 25, 35-10 with just 5:15 remaining here in the third quarter. This Nevada offense on the move. 1st and 10 inside UNLV territory. Going to be a keeper. Purdy up the middle. And maybe a gain of 2 stopped by this defensive line. Touchet Atalaya.
Atalaya right there. Johnnie on the spot, able to fill in the gap and be right where he's supposed to be for this team, coming from that defensive end position. You love to see him not allow Chuba Purdy to be able to get to the second level of UNLV's defense and only hold them to 2 yards on the 1st and 10 play.
Do you envision the Rebels pulling their starters at any point, or do you think they leave them out there for the rest of this game regardless of the score because of what's at stake, not only Fremont Cannon, but the Mountain West title game potentially as well?
I think they want to have their best picture and their best foot forward, and they want to have the best players on the field to make sure that without a shadow of a doubt, they gave themselves the best opportunity to get into that Mountain West championship. And that starts with the guys that have been there and done that for you all season long. They're going to want to continue that. And I also think a lot of these guys, too, this is their senior year. This is the last moments that they're going to be out here on the field in a road game in UNR. The only case I could see them subbing guys out, because we've seen this UNLV team deal with depth and deal with it pretty good so far this year, is if they go up with another touchdown and extend this lead very late into the fourth quarter.
After a screen pass to Turner, he's brought down by Welsh. So it'll be 3rd and 3 for Nevada. 3:45 remains, down by 25. Jones fires, and it's caught on the play by Brown. And Brown able to come down with it for Nevada. A big catch there on just a simple hitch route tackle there by Andrew Powdrell.
Just a great job by Brown coming back to the football. The ball was put right on the money by Jones to allow Brown to body up and pick up that first down. But you still have to love Andrew Powdrell being able to wrap up, make a nice hard tackle, and not allow Brown to pick up any yards after the catch.
A very slow and methodical drive here for Nevada. It's exactly what Coach Cho wanted going into this game. Maybe not down by 25. Tackled for a loss there. A huge stop from the defensive line. Thomas able to get in the backfield and penetrate.
And right there, we've seen Landon Thomas once again understanding where he needs to be as the edge defender. And on this situation, they try to bring Brown once again on the jet sweep to the outside, and he is wrestled down immediately for a big loss of 7 on the play.
So now that sets up 2nd and 17 for Nevada. They are down 35-10. Ball at the UNLV 42, and less than 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Shotgun formation, Twins left. Jones, check down, blocked at the line of scrimmage. Good hands there by Atalaya, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
And that is something that defensive line coaches all throughout college football are going to be teaching their players to do. If you're a defensive lineman and you're already getting held up against the O-lineman, that doesn't mean that you lost the rep. Right there, Carter Jones simply just throws the ball in Atalaya's face mask, literally throws it right into his visor, and the ball simply just hits the ground, and he's not able to turn that into a completion for UNR.
3rd and 17, Jones, shotgun, across the middle. One-handed grab. What a snag there by Thomas. Fighting for the extra yards and is going to be short of a first down. But the effort there by Dakota Thomas. One-handed snag and catch and run. Good play.
Right there, Dakota Thomas was able to bail out his quarterback in Carter Jones. The ball was behind him, and he snags it once again with that left hand in the cold with those gloves on. He's able to high point the ball with his left hand. And again, this UNLV defense is in a fourth down situation. You know they're going to try to send pressure because they're going to try to get the ball out of Carter Jones's hands quick. Let's see what they can get here on this play.
4th and 3. A crucial one here for Nevada. If they want any life here moving forward, shotgun formation, pressure, brought down, ball's loose, recovered by UNLV. The pressure off from Jaheim Joseph jars the ball loose, and the Rebels recover. It'll be first down, UNLV.
Jaheim Joseph coming downhill. JJ with the hit stick for the Rebels to force the fumble and get off the field and give this offense the football back. And because of their pursuit, Jones tries to run away, tries to get out of the pocket. He doesn't get down, and instead he is sacked to the ground. Jaheim Joseph forcing the forced fumble, and because of the effort by Edmondson to get on top of the football, understand where it was, and get on top of it, the UNLV Rebels will once again be riding high here at McKay Stadium.
And that is Jaheim Joseph's second forced fumble of the season, and the Rebels will take over at their own 44. Shotgun 1st and 10. Handoff Lee to the left side. Has a lane being tackled by Libera. And he's forced out of bounds near the midway mark to the yard to gain.
And this is going to be the name of the game for UNLV with what they want to do with finishing up this third quarter and going into the fourth. They want to come out of this game with guys healthy. They want to make sure everybody is healthy and doesn't get hurt, but it also starts with pounding the football and ruining any chance for Reno to come back in this game.
Ball spotted at midfield after a gain of 6. They go back to Lee, and he's tackled behind the line and stopped near the line of scrimmage again, this time by La Barbara.
And right here in this situation, I feel like if you're UNLV, it kind of is a 2-down territory for them. Although they do have that 25-point lead, they can be uber aggressive with what they want to do with these next 2 play calls. They don't necessarily have to be in a pass-down situation right now, knowing the talent that they have in their backfield, especially with Kevon Lee still there. But it looks like Jaden Bradley is going to be lined up in the backfield for this run.
La Barbera with 4 total tackles here tonight. Calandra under center, fakes the toss, across the middle, caught, Elksness in the seam, and inside Nevada territory.
Corey Dennis is in his Ben Johnson bag right now. The level of play calling that I have seen so far from this offensive coordinator is absolutely phenomenal. And the trust that he has with Dan Mullen and Anthony Calandra in this offense has shown and paid off dividends for this Rebel offense.
And with that catch and run, that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. 15 minutes await for the final here inside Reno. 3 quarters down, 1 to go, and the Rebels with a commanding 35-10 lead at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Wyatt, Touchet, Johnnie Graves here live on Rebel Sports Net, and they are just awaiting the opportunity to hold and bring back the Fremont Cannon back home. It is 1st and 10 inside Nevada territory at their own 27, and a chunk yards there for Kevon Lee.
And right there, you had these UNLV Rebels coming out of that end of the third quarter. They did a great job on third down, designing how to get guys open. You had Nick Elson is coming across and coming open across the seam, and Anthony Calandra knew where he was going with the ball right away. He put the ball right on the money for him for that 23-yard gain, and they go right back to the run game with Kevon Lee on the very next drive.
So now 2nd and 7, another direct snap, not to Anthony Calandra, and this time
Coy Moore.
It's Coy Moore to the left side, trying to get some yardage, stopped at the line of scrimmage by Snelling, and have a flag on the play.
It's a lot of jarring out there, and you know that in these rivalries games, these guys are going to be a little bit more pumped up and feel like they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder for what they want to do, but it looks like the flag on this play is going to be holding on Matt Barnes, the tight end.
And to your credit, partner, about the jarring, the trash talk, you're down 25. I don't see any room for you to be talking on the sideline, especially if you are on the sideline. You're not in the game, and you're down 25. It's hard for me to imagine why you would say anything. If you were up or it was tie game or something, you weren't 3-8, I could see the merit behind it. You're going against a team that's 9-2, potentially going to the Mountain West title game, and we'll find that out tomorrow. But you're down by 25. I don't understand that.
In rivalry games, those kind of things, that kind of logical thinking kinds of go out the window. These guys do not care. They are playing with their pride on the lines right now. But if you're playing like that, you're not playing out there on the football field. You're playing the mental game. And so far today, UNR has lost the mental game against UNLV. UNLV has came out. They've been the sharper team. They've been able to execute and be able to pick up and play when it's mattered most. And they have done and let their play do the talking. Or on the other end, the UNR Wolfpack have been playing like pups today against these Rebels.
2nd and 17, Calandra, a quick check down to Thomas. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 2 or 3. Tackle there by Stone Combs.
And right there, Stone Combs doing a great job of being a hard wall. He did not allow Jet Thomas to get outside of his frame. He forced him to go out of bounds for a -1 yard gain or -1 yard loss against the Rebels. And now they're going to be forced into a 3rd and 18 in a situation where UNR, in this situation, they have to get off the football field. Name of the game needs to be forcing Anthony Calandra to get the ball out quick and rally and make a tackle.
So the Rebels are backed up all the way to Laughlin. 3rd and forever. Calandria escaping the pressure, rolling out right, looking, fires down the far sideline, across the middle now. Reynolds picks up the first down inside the 15, brought down at the 13.
And the magic man himself, the magician Anthony Calandria, finds Dede Reynolds and picks him out of his magician hat out of nowhere. He understands as he rolls out the pocket that UNR is still playing zone off man coverage. So what does he do, recognizing they're playing match coverage? He finds Dede Reynolds on the scramble drill, and as a wide receiver, you're meant and taught to find real estate, find open grass. He does that, and they pick up the big first down.
22-yard gain there. Now Earl, the keeper, the direct snap inside the 10, brought down at the 9 for a gain of 4.
And I love them going back to that direct snap because not only does it keep JoJo Earl and the rest of these weapons like Coy Moore involved in the offense and lets them get their hands on the ball, but there's a similar offense out there in Miami that has been able to use their skill players, a big-time guy like Malachi Tony, who is a wide receiver, and they use him in a lot of different ways as a gadget player. But when you're doing that, you allow yourself in the defense to stay off target and don't know where the ball's going to go.
And another direct snap to Thomas, the left side, up the middle, fighting for the extra yards. He has the first down, maybe more, and he's stopped and brought down at the 1. They have had such great success with that play. Calandra motioning out to the side and just letting Jet Thomas with a direct snap go to work.
And you also don't have the confidence and trust in your players to do that if you don't have an O-line that has been as dominant as the Rebels.
And Jet Thomas punches it in for his 4th rushing touchdown of the game, ties his career high back all the way at his freshman year against UTEP. And September 23rd of 2023, where he had 13 carries, 100 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns on the day. Jet Thomas has owned Nevada here so far.
Jet Thomas, 11 carries, 103 yards, and the final nail in the coffin for what it seems like for the UNLV Rebels to potentially punch their ticket into the Mountain West Championship. He has absolutely been the guy to ride on today, and he has carried this UNLV offense to a dominant performance against the Wolfpack up north.
Nine plays, 56 yards, and 4 minutes and 52 seconds of time of possession. The Rebels go up big, 42-10, by way of Jet Thomas, a 1-yard run. His 4th touchdown of the game on the ground, and that ties his career high dating back to 2023 against UTEP, where he scored 4 rushing touchdowns in that game. He has been an absolute monster today. 11 rushes, 103 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the ground. They said, you need to have a big game today, and he said, hold my beer.
Jet Thomas has been a pure definition of heart over height so far for this UNLV football team. And at the running back position, you don't need to be the biggest guy. You don't need to be the fastest guy. But you have to understand and have good contact balance. He is able to match that contact balance up with incredible strength and speed from the running back position. And it has propelled him to being one of the leaders all time in the UNLV record books for rushing touchdowns. And he has shown why he is a leader for this UNLV offense all season long.
Well, he is currently 5th all-time in UNLV career rushing touchdowns. Coming into this game, he had 27 with the 4 touchdowns he has. He now has 31 in his UNLV career, only 3 behind Charles Williams, the Chuck Wagon, one of my good old buddies. He is only 3 behind him, and he's only in his junior year. And remember, he missed 1 game earlier in this season, and he is having a stellar performance so far in his junior campaign.
Absolutely phenomenal performance, and the type of talent that he has played like is the type of guys that you see on Sundays in an offense where there have been so many mouths to feed. For him to be as efficient and as successful as he has been, it's been a joy to see all season long.
And Turner bursting through the gap, able to pick up a 1st down, brought down at the 41, and they'll move the chains here for Nevada in the beginning of the 4th quarter.
And right here, you had UNR with Turner once again being able to put him into the game and be just a shot in the arm on offense. And now you have junior A.J. Blanco from Lahaina, Hawaii, coming into the football game, subbing for Carter Jones. And it looks like he wants to see a different look in his offense if you are head coach for the UNR Wolfpack, Jeff Choate.
So now 1st and 10. Bianco trips formation empty. Throws, picked off. It's tipped up in the air and caught, but the whistle's blown dead. And it appears that it might have hit the ground, and so it'll be 2nd down.
And Marcel McDuffie on that play was off to do the race. He was not going to get caught on that play, looking like he was ready to go in for the touchdown, but they ruled that one down on the ground just too early. And this UNLV team on the defensive end, they have to stay on top of it. They understand that they're playing with a lead, but you cannot allow any big plays to get behind you in the secondary, and you still want to see an all-out effort because these kind of plays and this type of stats is going to decide what you're going to look for in the Mountain West Championship.
2nd and 10. Bianco fakes the handoff to Turner. Going to keep it, runs it up the middle. It's actually Purdy. They change him in, and he picks up a gain of 9 on 2nd down, making it 3rd and short.
And let's see what happens here. Again, another 2-down territory situation with UNR playing from behind with 10 minutes left to go in the game. They run Purdy, and he's able to pick up the 1st down. They actually give it to him and allow him to move the sticks. I love the effort that I've seen from Purdy all day today. 5 carries for 75 yards. He's done a great job of being another asset to this UNR offense that has struggled against UNLV today.
So now Bianco, the Hawaiian native, back onto the field. Pistol formation. 10-10 remaining here. 1st and 10. Turner to the left side. A face mask penalty has been called after Turner's head turned sideways, and they're going to get 15 yards additional after that 2 or 3 yard run.
And right there, they had Turner spinning. They saw the face mask get tugged, and immediately the referees are going to call that time and time again. It's going to be an automatic 15 yards at the end of that play for Turner.
I mean, you take a look at the intensity UNLV is playing with. They're up by 32 with 10 minutes left in this ball game, and they're not letting up by any means.
No, they understand that still this is a rivalry game, and there is something to be said about the effort that takes place when you're playing for the pride or the shield or the logo that is on your chest. But this UNLV defense especially, they have been able to turn it around in their last 3 games, averaging 15.3 points per game, only holding their opposing teams 319 total yards and having 13 sacks. It has been more of the same today, holding Nevada to only 205 yards of total offense. They have done an amazing job today so far in the game.
So 1st and 10 at the UNLV 31, handoff to the right side, and Turner is brought down at the 28 after a gain of 3.
285 total yards in the game so far for UNR, but still, the effort on the defensive end for this UNLV football team in terms of forcing turnovers, 2 forced fumbles, no interceptions on today, but 2 forced fumbles and multiple 4th down and 3rd down stops for this team. They have definitely came out and done an amazing job of supporting this high-powered offense, and it's going to go to show when the polls go into the Mountain West Championship game. This UNLV resume is going to be very solid and hard not to put into the Mountain West Championship.
And so on 2nd and 7, a whistle's blown dead for a false start on Nevada, and that's going to back them up 5 yards, so set up a 2nd and 12.
Right here, they had Herschel Turner Jr. just moving a little bit too early on that play, and that's not going to be something that his coach is going to like. They're going to have to change up their formation, and he's off the field, and now they're going to be forced into a pass down situation on 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12, less than 9 minutes to go. The Rebels lead 42-10 in the Silver State rivalry game. On the line, the Fremont Cannon and a trip to the Mount West title for UNLV. Quick pass, stopped behind the line of scrimmage by this UNLV defense.
Incredible coverage on the back end by Andrew Powdrill, Jaheim Joseph, and also the linebacker Isaiah Patterson getting in on that wide receiver screen, diagnosing the play, recognizing exactly what was right in front of their faces, and attacking the football. That led to them being able to get the big 2nd down stop, setting up and forcing the 3rd and 12 here for the Rebels.
And so 3rd and long, and a offside penalty on UNLV. And it's going to give them the 5 yards right back.
And right there, if you're UNLV, again, you are bailing them out. You don't want to be teaching bad habits and have that be something that's going to be continuous for this program.
Welcome back inside Rebel Sports Net. A quick timeout from UNLV. 8:04 remains, and the Rebels lead 42-10 here on the defensive side. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Nevada at the UNLV 28. Bianco in the game after Jones has been benched. 8:05 remaining here. 3rd and 7. Trips left. Shotgun formation. Trying to get this UNLV defense to jump. Unable to do so. Steps back. Forced to roll out left. Fires. Connected, but short of the line to gain. Caught there by Thomas at the 24.
That was a great job by Bianco, being able to understand that UNLV's defense checked out of the blitz that they were going to have. They fell back into a cover 3 zone, and because of the pressure up front, he had to roll out of the pocket, go throw as a right-hander to his left side, and still be able to pick up a completion on the play.
4th and 3 for Nevada. 0 for 2 on 4th down today. Trying to get this defensive line to jump once again. Unable to do so. 7.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. UNLV leads 42-10. Bianco shotgun formation. Steps back. Pressure. Pocket collapses. Has to run and is running out to the left side. Picks up the first down sliding at the 16. He looked like he was dead in his tracks, but able to make something out of nothing.
Numerous times he looked like he was out for the count, but Bianco just keeps on fighting for UNR. He is able to run into his own offensive lineman. Looked like it was almost going to be like Mark Sanchez and the butt fumble, but he's able to stay composed, stay on balance, and pick up the first down. He's going to get a breather here on the sideline. They're going to put Chuba Purdy back into the game, but once again, you have Bianco being able to make a big-time play right there and keep this drive alive for UNR.
Less than 7 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for Nevada at the UNLV 16. Purdy in shotgun formation here. 4 seconds on the play clock. Motioning a man to the right side. Fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it going to the left and tackled for a loss. That's Keys.
Condarius Keys said, "Give me the keys," and throw him away. He absolutely locked him down on the outside and was able to make a big-time tackle on Chuba Purdy. You've seen him numerous times today be able to explode and get outside of the defender's frame, but Keys said, "I'm not having none of that," and he absolutely locked it down.
And now 2nd and 12 with 6 minutes to go. The Rebels in a commanding 42-10 lead. Here in the 4th quarter, Nevada on the offensive side at the UNLV 18. Bianco in shotgun formation, 5 on the play clock, looking, quick screen, Carpenter caught and is brought down at the 15 after a gain of 3.
Right there, Carpenter running a tight end slip screen to try to give him the ball and allow him to get upfield. And UNLV said, nope, we're not having any of that. They were able to rally to the football and hold them for a 3-yard gain.
So now it's 3rd and 9. 5:25 remains. Trips right, shotgun formation, and a quick pre-snap penalty. Looking like that's going to go against Landon Thomas of UNLV for jumping off sides.
And if anything goes to show for this UNLV football team today, for Dan Mullen, he's automatically going to talk about penalties going into this game. Beyond just the win, beyond them getting the Fremont Cannon, he knows that coming into this game, and if they play in the Mountain West Championship, they are going to have to play better, and especially with 8 offside penalties today in today's game, that's playing undisciplined football. That is not what they want to see from this defense or offense at all. They have to clean that up going into next game, whether it be the Mountain West Championship or their bowl game.
8 of their 13 penalties have come by way of offsides. Now 3rd and 4 handoff. Ramser up the middle, fighting for yards, and is brought down at the 3, and he picks up a first down for Nevada.
Right there, just hard-nosed running by Ramser. He was not going to be denied the first down on that play. He runs right up the gut, and they go hurry up again.
Purdy now, handoff, Ramser up the left side and in. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
And the Wolfpack, they are showing that they are not down and out for the fight. A touchdown for these guys to be able to rally the troops and show that they were still ready to fight in this rivalry game. But it's too little too late. In a game with only 4 minutes and 38 seconds going against the Rebels, it speaks to how successful the UNLV Rebels have been so far in this game in totality. And that might be the last time we see this UNR offense back on the football field in this game.
And so UNLV leads by 25 with just over 4 minutes to go. Here for the Silver State rivalry, Fremont Cannon and Mountain West title implications on the line here on Rebel Sports Net. 12 plays, 75 yards, and almost 7 minutes of play. The Reno Wolfpack are able to get 7 on the board, but as you said, Johnny, on the other side, just a little too late. They trail by 25, UNLV 42, Nevada 17, 4:38 remains, and the Rebels are looking to come home with the Fremont Cannon once again for the 4th consecutive year.
And it feels good for me being at UNLV for 4 straight years as a student to never see them relinquish that Fremont Cannon. It might be permanently staying red for all I know after my time is up. But you have to think that UNLV came in with a game plan, and they knew they were not going to have to play with this UNR team, but they were going to have to play at a level and a championship standard. And they have absolutely done that today. Outside of the penalties, which has been the only thing holding them back, and to be honest, this game might have been way out of proportion if UNLV wouldn't have shot themselves in the foot. But you have to love the effort on both ends of the football field for UNLV today, and Dan Mullen in his first year as the head coach for the Rebels.
And so as we take a look at if, and a very likely if, the Rebels win tonight, they will be in a 4-way tie for first place in the Mountain West. So with no head-to-head tiebreakers possible, the conference's best next step is to rank the 4 teams based on a composite of 4 computer rankings, and those rankings will come out tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., and it'll show us who will be in the Mountain West title game. 4 different ranking systems, and they'll do the best average, and the top 2 teams will be in the Mountain West title game this upcoming Friday, December 5th.
And going back to the Hunger Games, may the odds be ever in your favor for the UNLV Rebels, knowing that we are hailing from UNLV. There's a reason why people come here and they gamble, but you would have liked to see them come out and not have to have that gamble on themselves. They had those 2 losses to New Mexico, and what was that other loss that we had as well, Wyatt, early on in the season? And to Boise State. And to come into this situation now after Jalen Glover with that 14-yard run to pick up the first down, now you didn't hold your destiny, but you came out and you won that Fremont Canyon, you won that rivalry game, and you were able to finish what you needed to do and handle your business. Now the odds will be up to, in a season that kind of felt a little bit AI generated, it will be up to a computer to decide who is going to be in the Mountain West Championship once again.
So in the 4-way tie, and this expected win here for UNLV, 42-17, 4 minutes remain. San Diego State, UNLV, New Mexico, and Boise State. 2 teams out of that the Rebels lost to. But coming into this game, before any games were played for this final week in rivalry week matchups, UNLV was in the top 2 in multiple different rankings in multiple different article sources. Some had UNLV at the top of the list at number 1, and some at number 2. And we have a scuffle here between Vaughn and Glover. Glover rips off Vaughn's helmet, and that kind of goes to show just the beating UNLV has put on Nevada here tonight.
And right here, there's no other option right here for Vaughn but to be frustrated in a game where you could have put your best foot forward and try to have a good effort with your play. You can't come into the football game now and try to mug it up and have guys out here drawing for position and trying to be overly physical. And right now, everything needs to be about playing smart football. You don't want to get ejected and end up being suspended for a game or a half of a game. You need to be able to play smart ball, and this one's going to go against Jalen Glover for him ripping off the helmet on a personal foul right there against Vaughn.
And the other thing, too, try to play a level field. Understandably, we're on Rebel Sports Net, so try not to skew some bias. There's something to be said about, understanding and controlling your emotions, but at the same time, they were instigating there. At the play was over, the whistle's blown dead, and they're still trying to punch at the ball, rip it from him, throw him around, and he's like, I'm not putting up with this. And UNLV has had that mentality all game long, and they lead 42-17. Earl running to the left side, getting some yardage, and being brought down at the 36-37.
And once again, it's UNLV has been able to go out and execute. There's been a lot of chirp and chatter, especially on the UNR side coming into this game about the culture of UNLV. But they have come in today and played like they are the guys that pushing F-150s and old buckets and old beaters. They've done a great job of playing smart football and doing what it takes to win a football game. And now if you're looking at the schedule and looking at the composite rankings, if you're going off of record-wise, this UNLV football team will end the season off 10-2. They will have the best record out of every single team in the conference for a team that had to go through 3 different bye weeks. And we've seen how bye weeks can affect teams, especially after that University of Hawaii game.
And it was the first time ever this season that they beat every single non-conference opponent. All 2 losses came in Mountain West play. So everyone in Mountain West play has the same record at 9-3. But the overall record goes to UNLV. So a lot will be said and done in the last reigning hours until tomorrow morning. Glover goes to the sideline. Coach Mullen trying to talk to him. He smacks his hand, goes to the bench, and there will be a conversation after this game is over for not only those actions but the look that has as well as Mullen stares him down walking to the bench.
And right there, it just has to be smarter. As Jalen Glover, you're in a game. There's no reason to have to get into a confrontation or a situation like that with your coach. You have done what you needed to do. Yes, you had that penalty, but play smart football. You understand that you have a role in this football team, and you still have to come out and win with class.
And we're going to go to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes remain until the Rebels bring back the Fremont Cannon here on Rebel Sports Net. Fresh out the 2-minute timeout, the Rebels lead 42-17, and a little altercation on the sideline between Glover and head coach Dan Mullen. Head coach went over to Glover trying to calm him down, lightly tapped the back of his finger towards Glover's torso, and Glover smacked his hand away and walked impatiently and frustrated to the bench.
And right there, you just have to know better if you're Glover. Obviously, in this game, like you said in the break, Wyatt, you should be happy that you came out and you did what you needed to do. Regardless of if you had that penalty, I understand trying to fight for yourself, but also you still have to understand that you are playing a football game, and there's things in a way and etiquette and ethics to how you want to play and how you want to win, and that didn't have to be the way. You didn't have to rip off another man's helmet regardless of what you were doing. Sometimes you have to leave that to the refs. But on the player side, I see him wanting to stick up for yourselves, but you also can't go out of your way to disrespect your head coach.
On a positive note, a career day for Jet Thomas. 11 carries, 103 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, which ties a career high. And he's already done it once, which means he ties a UNLV record with 4 rushing touchdowns in a single game. It's now 1st and 10 at their own 20. The Wolfpack come out on the offensive side and a completed pass over the middle, caught there by O'Rourke.
Right there, General work with just a nice job making that hands catch to get under the football and not let the turf monster eat that one.
So now 1st and 10 at the 31. Pass over the middle again. O'Rourke near midfield catches that one.
Right there, Trey Fulton. If Trey Fulton doesn't make that big-time tackle from that safety position, O'Rourke might have been still on his way running to the end zone. But they try to go hurry-up offense here to get some more points on the board for UNR.
Bianco steps back, throws it to the side. O'Rourke on the sideline. 3 consecutive plays hit out of bounds by Keys. And he's hit out of bounds, and the clock will stop here on 2nd down.
And right there, I like the reads right here from Bianco. And the message that Choke is right now he's trying to send for this team. Jeff Choate wants to make sure that this team is going to come out and then their next year they have a great job. They do a great job of trying to build their culture and build a winning foundation for this team. Until that can be said, they're going to play to the end of the whistle, knowing what it means for the fans in the stands of UNR.
And an injured Rebel on the field. It's Isaiah Patterson, number 54, the redshirt freshman from Vancouver, Washington. And he's being helped up by medical staff and personnel. Getting his helmet, able to walk off hobbling, but able to walk off on his own. And that's good sight there. Hopefully he will be okay. And if the Rebels are in the Mountain West title game on Friday, December 5th, he'll be healthy and ready to go by then.
It's always good to see a player walk off the field under his own power. You see him out there mouthing, "I'm okay. I'm under my own power. I'm good to go." But they're just gonna go send him to the blue tent, have him sit down, get that boo-boo checked out, and they're gonna be on to the next one.
So now it sets up 2nd and 2 for Nevada. Shotgun formation. Bianco motions Carpenter. Bianco drops back. Pressure. Loses the ball. It's on the turf. Fighting for it. And Bianco comes down with it just short of the 1st down marker. And it's going to be 3rd and 1 for Nevada.
And right there, Bianco just got too loosey-goosey with the football. He was trying to step up in the pocket. And because of the pressure, the ball gets dislodged out of his hands. And he's able to get right back on top of it for the UNR.
1 minute to go. 3rd down. Pressure. And sacked on the 3rd down play. The whole defensive line and unit came for Bianco, and they came up big.
You had the entire front 7 for the Rebels, multiple gray jerseys in the backfield getting after Bianco. You had Porter, Andre Porter, the freshman from Liberty High School, out there on the field being able to get in on the sack and bring Bianco down. Andre Porter was a two-sport star athlete at Liberty, so it's good to see him out there get his first sack in his college career.
And so now that sets down a 4th and long for Nevada, 4th and 10 to be exact. They do take a timeout. 53 seconds remain. And it's just one of those to get some final plays in for Nevada. It's the end of the season, last game of the year. And if you're UNLV, you just want to make sure you come out of this game healthy in hopes of a title shot at the Mountain West Championship.
Exactly. You don't want to have anybody get hurt that doesn't need to get hurt in this football game. You have bigger fish to fry. Not only do you have potentially a bid in that Mountain West Championship, but you also have one guaranteed bowl game. You want to see everybody come off the field, fly back to Las Vegas healthy, safe, and sound, and come out of this one with 4 straight Fremont Cannon wins and end the regular season 10-2.
4th and 10, ball at their own 49-yard line. 53 seconds remain here. Bianco, shotgun formation, drops back, pressure, throws, incomplete pass. And the UNLV offense will take over and enter victory formation.
Big 4th down stop to be able to put pressure on Bianco, have the ball hit the ground just short enough, and it's an incomplete pass. And UNLV will be able to run out Anthony Calandria in victory formation with 2 kneels, and UNLV will once again beat UNR in the battle for the Fremont Cannon and come back to warmer Las Vegas, Nevada, and be able to be champions once again, potentially to try to fight for a spot in that Mountain West Championship.
And so in victory formation, 47 seconds, Calandria takes the knee, and he's going to need one more here as the clock continues to tick. 1 second between game and play clock. It is 2nd down for the Rebels. And what an incredible season. They will finish it off 10-2. coming home with the Fremont Cannon in hand. Beautiful scarlet red, I might add. And this season is in the books for the regular. The final score, 42-17. The Rebels elevate to 10-2 on the season and have taken home the Fremont Cannon for the 4th consecutive year, mauling the Wolf Pups up north by 25 for a final 42-17, and a career day for Jet Thomas. 4 touchdowns on the ground, tying a career high.
Absolutely masterclass performance from Jet Thomas at the running back position, and a beautiful job on offense and defense by the UNLV football team to come out in a rivalry game and be able to play smart football and make timely plays over and over again for a Dan Mullen-led team. Outside of those 2 losses to Boise State in New Mexico, this has been a dream season for a guy coming from SEC pedigree. You couldn't have asked for a better season and better production from this UNLV team for Dan Mullen.
And so the Rebels now await for the results for the composite from those computers, which we will know and find out who's in the Mountain West Championship game tomorrow at 8 a.m. In the conference standings, everyone is 6-2. UNLV, New Mexico, San Diego State, and Boise State. UNLV has the edge over those 3 teams with a better overall record at 10-2 after mauling the Pups up north 42-17, and the Fremont Cannon will remain scarlet red for the 4th consecutive year. Special thank you to Program Director Kevin E. Martin for allowing us to calling this season all year long. It has been a pleasure, partner. From everyone here at Rebel Sports Net, Wyatt Touchet, Johnnie Graves signing off for the final time of the regular season. A final score of 42-17. The Rebels on top once again. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. See you later, folks.